to not give too much detail, but the general concept in terms of keeping it in your head is you guys will be a part of a advanced magical society. So think of magic has taken the place of like, let's say locomotion and like how people travel from place to place. Think like almost Harry Potter-ish.
Okay, so advanced society through magic.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like magic is a big component of how the place runs. And so your class and your ability, so there's no limitation on class or race. You could be any class or race available in the book or any extended material if you guys choose to choose some other official content.
What about unofficial?
I don't want to. No. Well, maybe we can work it out.
Kobold, two kobold runners.
TTRPGs, the ultimate playground of the imagination. These are the journeys of system exploration. Its ongoing mission? To discover innovative game systems, to seek out unique mechanics and new ways to inspire creative storytelling, to thoughtfully explore the systems others have created before us.
Welcome to System Exploration by Unfortunate Ones. I'm Sav.
I'm Nix.
I'm Graythorn.
And today we are going to be exploring D&D 5e 2014. In case anybody is wondering, this is not 5.5. We're going to be a decade late to the game. We're exploring 5e 2014, which, by the way, in a lot of our conversations is the base that we compare all of these systems that we've been exploring to, because
it's the one we have the most familiarity with.
Well, especially for me and Nix, the most familiarity. It's also where I was introduced into TTRPGs. I believe it's where you, Nix, were introduced into TTRPGs. And then I don't know, Gray, your relationship with 5e beyond our table.
Was the first system I played.
Is it the first system you played? Okay. I mean, at this point, it's a pretty old system.
Yeah.
To be fair. But yeah, we are, all of us, relatively well-versed in 5e. In fact, I basically run a business off of 5e at this point, though I am branching out into other things. That is where I started, mostly due to where I will complement 5e, is with all of the tools and community behind it. It's just so approachable for both DMs and players that it's very, very easy for me to get players and just to get butts in seats. It's a very approachable game, and there are a lot of really good tools out there for D&D, and a lot of great homebrew as well out there for 5e.
I mean, at the time that I ran that original game for Sav, that I think I eventually named it Lord's Fall.
It's Sav's birthday one-shot.
Yeah, so that was the original title for it. It's Sav's birthday one-shot.
Which you thought I was going to hate.
Yeah. Well, I didn't think you'd latch on to D&D and TTRPGs in general. I thought your brother would latch on to it more than you did.
Yeah, polar opposite.
Complete opposite reactions. But part of the reason for it was, one, my familiarity, and it was at the time season 1 of Critical Role was like 30 or 40 episodes in. I liked the show. I was watching it. 5e was the system they were using, and D&D Beyond started becoming like a very like accessible thing that you could get onto, and you can go log in and create sheets and all that stuff. And it made the game, like you were talking about, extraordinarily accessible for most people.
Yeah.
Where like when we did that one shot, we had like 8 or 10 people at the table, something like that. And I don't think that would have been very realistic to run without having D&D Beyond as like an option.
No, with that many new players
Yeah.
and that many players in general. Yeah. I mean, D&D Beyond, there's a lot of tools like D&D Beyond for a lot of things now. In terms of other systems, like I know Daggerheart has it, Pathfinder has it, and then like in general, the prominence of VTTs, virtual tabletops, you can kind of pseudo get the same thing out of D&D Beyond, though not in the same way that we did it, obviously, at a home table, but still, there's a lot of accessibility out there now for everything. But at the time, D&D Beyond was like super approachable and accessible. That being said, it's not what we're doing here at System Exploration. We got our pencils, we got our paper, we got our notepads. I would actually suggest that do whatever you want, as you are going to be the host or the DM. As you are going to be the DM, Mr. Nix. Simia. I don't know my own co-host name.
How dare you?
I would almost suggest, as we have a paper, pencil, and a physical hardcover copy of the Player's Handbook, that we run this with only the Player's Handbook standard races and classes and subclasses and whatnot, since we're going so back to basics anyway.
Oh, we can. I didn't.
We don't have to. I should probably have talked to you about that before. I didn't think about it beforehand, but I should have talked to you beforehand. Do whatever you want.
No,
I'll be an Ira Cochran. Thank you very much. Also, I have a homebrew class that I'm going to be playing with a list of homebrew spells.
No homebrew classes, but
no. Homebrew class, homebrew subclass. It's also a homebrew version of Ira Cochran. It has double the fly speed.
My only thing is, it's if you guys are willing to do that, I would keep this. I would like to keep this session 0 to kind of talking about what's in the Player's Handbook.
Yeah.
But like as far as character creation, it's I understand a lot of people like opening up to the absolute like crazy amount of
there's so many
classes and races that are available.
Well, subclasses
and subclasses.
Some classes actually, a lot of like Critical Role classes and whatnot. Shout out Critical Role.
Yeah,
our best friends. We know them well.
There are classes that are now available. There's a lot of racial features and races that are available. And
I love the Artificer.
Yes, the Artificer.
Anytime a player's like, "Is it okay if I play an Artificer?" I'm like, "Please," and also convince the rest of the party. I want all Artificers. Thank you.
I mean, Artificer is one of my favorite classes to play in 5e.
It's so good.
But like, I was gonna leave that up to you guys because
sure.
This is your guys are playing this game. You guys are gonna be whatever you guys want to limit or not limit yourselves to. I personally don't. It's not going to drive my story in any direction. So like, if you feel like limiting it for the purposes of exploration, it's up to you.
Yep. I mean, either way, it doesn't matter.
Yeah. But yeah, this is, D&D started with or has the major, strength, dexterity, constitution, intelligence, wisdom, charisma stats that you roll for
ability.
And it's like, I think the most suggested version of getting your stats is you do the 4d4 or 4d6 and you take the highest 3 that you roll. And that's going to determine your score, which is
not roll down the line.
Not roll down the line.
It's a much nicer system.
Not roll down the line, and you get to, and those all drive through. There's like a table that helps describe what your modifiers mean. So like if you have a 14 to a skill, I think it's not nearly as complicated as older system where I think it's just every 2 above 10.
Every 2 above 10
is an extra +1 or +2 or +1.
So 10 and 11 are a 0.
Yes.
12 is a +1.
Yeah, 12, 13 is a +1. 14, 15 is a +2. So it's pretty straightforward in that regard. Depending on the classes you pick is kind of like where you would ideally like to place your higher rolls.
Yeah, I don't know where it sits in the Player's Handbook in character creation, but I know on D&D Beyond, you pick your class first, then you pick your race, then you do your scores.
Yes.
Because you kind of, it's built to min-max a little bit. It's built to play into your strengths. It's a very hero system. Talking about what D&D is for, like we do for any system exploration. What is the theme of 5e, would you say?
Well, it's, for me at least, 2014 5e is very hero fantasy. It is that uh almost classic Tolkien-esque, but um more magic driven. It almost felt like when I started playing 2014, it almost felt like the stories being told through Magic the Gathering cards, which is like very heavily focused on like the different creature types that exist in the world, and that like people use very powerful spells. Magic was very common in the world because like Tolkien is very low magic,
Yeah,
like low magic fantasy.
this is very high magic, high
And,
fantasy.
Yeah, 2014 is very high fantasy magic. Like a level 3 spell is a fireball, and you get level 3 pretty early on as a mage, and a fireball is a giant ball of fire.
It's a huge explosion.
It has like caveats where like it sets things that can be set on fire on fire.
Mm-hmm.
It does giant area of effect damages. It is a lot happening.
Yeah.
So I would rate it as high magic fantasy is when I think of trying to play a setting or think of a story that fits really well with the mechanics of 5e.
And hero fantasy.
Hero fantasy too. Like you are the main character. You are the driving force of what is happening around you. I'm trying to think of what else could kind of play into that. Like sometimes you could be the side character. You know, there are the kings and queens of the world depending on the level of your character starting, but like it always feels like you're driving your character to get to that place. Like you're driving character to be important in the world.
Though I have not personally ran any adventure modules, I am aware of a lot of them. It also has a big emphasis on like adventuring party, as in not just player party, but like the idea that your player party is adventurers. It's what you're referred to in the book. You are supposed to be going into exploration. I believe it's also the book that talks about the pillars and whatnot. Well, I think that's older D&D, but it talks about like the pillars of play and blah blah blah. Very adventure and very adventure driven. You are referred to as an adventurer. And then the other thing that I would mention is I feel like it really leans heavily on the idea of like big bads. There being a big bad, I feel like, is a very, very common trope for this system.
Sure.
I know that's common in a lot of systems, but this one falls into that category as well.
Yes. And, you know, kind of like how the book is set up, it opens with your character. So, like, yes, what you're saying is all true. Like, the game focuses a lot on your character and, like, what your character does in these kinds of worlds.
Yeah.
And, like, yeah, big bads, like, I don't want to necessarily say generic or even tropey, but it is a little bit. Like, there is a little bit of, like, it does play a lot into the tropes and the generic nature of some storytelling that has to do with high fantasy.
Yeah. I would say another thing about 5e is I've heard what might be considered a negative opinion, which is that, like, people utilize 5e to do all types of different stories, and I do. And while it doesn't necessarily nail every genre, it is a very open story, or sorry, open system in terms of being able to tell different types of stories. Like you can do, it might not be a horror system, but you can do horror in it. It might not be a sci-fi system, but you could do sci-fi in it. And especially when you're considering the expansion books, you can do, like, there's a Spelljammers, the space exploration version of 5e, still utilizing the same system, the same mechanics, the potentiality for the same classes and races and whatnot, that there are expanded subclasses and races in those books. It is still the same rule set to hit those different niches and different genres. It might not be the best system for those things, but it can do all of them, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, there is a huge... Almost every single time I've seen anybody play or people talk about 5e especially, is there is an often emphasis on like homebrew rules. And I think some official content kind of like, it's not homebrew, but like they take their spin on some mechanics to kind of allow for some of those other themes to kind of really hit a little harder.
Yeah.
Because a way you could really drive in a theme is by having a mechanic that helps drive that forward.
Absolutely.
So it's something we talked about in some of the other games that we've played, which is like Delta Green. Some of the stuff on the sheet, some of the stuff that you do helps really drive the theme. So the mechanic does help. 5e feels a lot more open. It gives you there's a very basic set of stuff. Here's your character. Here's your character's abilities. Here's your basic backgrounds, and just kind of like try to just tell a story with it. And like you could take that and add and you take away certain pieces of it.
Yeah.
And even this book or like the player's handbook and the DMG.
I was going to say the DMG also like, while there is rules as written, the DMG has a lot of alternate rules.
Yes, that's what I was going to get to.
Not necessarily homebrew rules, but alternate rules that have been thought out and balanced in order to hit those niches for you. Like there are alternate insanity rules that you could add on top of the game for a more horror-based 5e game.
It's also like if you use D&D Beyond, and I believe some of it is mentioned in the DMG, but like let's say you were not a fan of rolling for the stats of your character, and the stats, like I mentioned early on, is like a very big part of the game. You could do like pre-selected numbers where you fill in the numbers where you want.
Yeah, or you could do standard array.
A standard array, or you could do a point buy system, which is very often what I used when I would.
I'm a point buy guy myself.
Yeah, when I built a character in 5e, if I wanted to just kind of throw something together real quick, I would just use the point buy system.
Yeah, I'm a point buy guy.
Yeah, because it's fairly simple. I like rolling the dice, and I think if I'm at a table, like if I'm playing digitally, then point buy probably is going to be the thing I often go to. But I do like rolling dice. I think it is fun. And you get the chance of rolling really high, of getting like the 16s, the 17, and the 18 on the die roll.
My argument for system exploration would be that we do.
I think we should roll the dice.
That we do the rolling the dice, not because I actually don't believe that is standard. And what I mean is, I believe, and I would actually like you to look this up in the player's handbook in the character creation section. I believe it's not listed as alternative rules. I believe all three of those are actual methods of generation. But I can tell you firsthand, because I have a lot of experience with a lot of different players, the vast majority roll for their character. The vast majority use rolling for stats rather than the other two rules.
Yes, I think because I don't know. There is something fun about it. There, at least in my head.
It's gambling.
Yeah.
Who doesn't like a loot box?
When you mentioned pillars, the 3 pillars of adventure are in the book. It's exploration, social interaction, and combat.
Yeah.
Combat is also a very big part of 5e. There's a huge dedicated pages. The way initiative is tracked, the way that you roll through everything, how spells matter, how you play them out, the fact that like characters beyond a certain level are not very squishy. So like you usually have larger health pools. You have lots of ways to recover health. So like there is a dynamic to like combats aren't just one round. Combats aren't just two or three.
No, they're usually typically long.
Yeah, you could. It's some people. A lot of people don't like it. I've heard a lot of people not really liking how long a 5e combat can be. But it's part of the game. Is that kind of drawn out nature to flinging spells, dealing damage, and kind of trying to maneuver your position, because flanking is in DMG.
Flanking is not. Yeah, those are alternative rules. They are not standard rules.
Yeah.
This game also does not have facing. That is not standard rules. I don't know if that's even an alternate rule in this system.
I don't think it is.
One thing I would like to talk about is the way they do enemies, because I'm finding the more and more systems that I am exposed to, the different ways in which the books, the core rules, handle enemies, adversaries, whatever you want to call them, NPC stat blocks and whatnot. I believe so. The way that 5e handles them is or 2014 at least, is a combat rating. I believe that's what CR stands for, is combat rating, which generally is a number, and I believe that number represents a player party of 4. So like a CR1 rated creature is meant to be a creature that would combat a level 1 player party of 4. And then there's more complicated math within the book on how to calculate, between your player party, and also when you have more enemy combatants, there's like multipliers for having more combatants and whatnot.
And then whether they have certain abilities, innate abilities, special kinds of spells, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Visions.
I would say compared to other systems that I've been exposed to as well, and I imagine Pathfinder's like this, but while it is a very different character sheet or stat block, they're oftentimes decently complicated. So they almost always have the same degree of ability scores. It lists them different, but it explicitly lists certain passives as well as saving throw proficiencies. This game is a game that does have saving throws in it, which would be like if a spell is cast against you.
Yeah.
You have a strength saving score or saving throw modifier, which is different than your strength modifier because you could be proficient in certain saving throws. And then there are the abilities. There are actions, reactions, bonus actions that the creature might have. There are innate abilities, passive traits that a creature might have. And then if it is of a certain level, there are legendary actions, which are quite unique to this system, it seems to me, which is like almost like AD&D had, where you had you had turns and rounds, and then the 10-minute version, I forget if that's a turn or a round, is when the environment reacts. At the top of each round, there are legendary actions that a creature might have,
or even layer actions.
And layer actions if you are in the creature's lair.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. There's times where once you get past a certain CR rating with an enemy, with a creature stat block,
they can get quite complicated.
I've forgotten abilities that are on the block. I've just
they can get quite complex.
Yeah,
and I've seen other systems that very much simplify it, which makes the system much less crunchy and much easier to run, but also takes away a little bit, in my opinion, from I prefer that for the record, but it does take away a little bit from the necessity for strategy in terms of when you have a very complicated, crunchy enemy, you have a lot more things to think about in terms of strategy rather than some systems where they just have a number that you have to roll against.
Sure.
So while they might be way more crunchy than some other systems, it does add an extra layer of intrigue and interest to the game.
Just to back up a little bit in terms of what you were talking about, what the book describes for ability scores, it gives the 4d6, take the higher of the 3. It gives you a standard array, and then it also describes the point buy system. So it has all 3.
Yeah. No, I don't believe they're alternate rules. I believe all 3 are options. Actual options.
They're just options for you to pick the character.
Yeah. But the most common one that I've experienced is people like to roll for it.
Yeah.
So I would think we should do that. On that note, I've always been curious about, though you just closed the book, so I'm assuming you lost your page. I've seen people that okay, you roll for it, but if your total scores added together are below a certain number, you can re-roll. Is that in the book?
If I remember where that comes from, I believe that is something that is at least very I attribute it to Matt Mercer as he talks about it in his character creation with his players.
Yeah.
It is not something described in the book.
Yeah.
The book
Good. Because in my opinion, if you rolled all 18s, so it's 3d6, take the highest. The highest would be 18. Standard array and point buy, you cannot get to 18. So it's a boon that you can possibly achieve through gambling. And my opinion is, if you're gonna gamble, would you take 6 abilities if they were all 18? Of fucking course you would. So if you roll fucking ones, take them. That's gambling. High risk, high reward, high penalty.
If you're gonna do the limit of the bottom end, then you should limit the top end.
Yeah. That's kind of how I feel.
Yeah.
There should be something, but at that point, don't gamble. Then, like if you're limiting things, I think if you're gonna allow gambling at your table, enforce gambling at your table. That's my opinion. You might have an 18 in strength, and you might have a 6 in intelligence, and that's the risk you take when you decide to gamble.
The lowest possibility is a 3. So
yeah.
But it's still
unlikely, but possible.
I mean, the same likelihood.
But
as
again, my
18.
argument is that, like, would you take 6 abilities at 18? Would you take all 18s if that's what you rolled? Yeah, then you should take the ones too.
Yeah. I think it's part of the the generosity of a DM,
and also like the hero fantasy that the game is supposed to hit. If you have a character that's just absolutely shit out the gate,
well, it's a reinforcement from a generous DM of the hero fantasy.
Yeah,
because again, it's not described in the book as a thing that you do, but it is a very common thing that's done.
Yeah,
again, it's part of that reinforcing of you are an important character.
Yeah,
you don't have. The book describes your characters as having flaws, and flaws are supposed to be a part of the
shit. Yeah, we never did that at our home table. We should do that.
Most people just do not abide by it. Most people don't focus on it. Most people just it's kind of like the generosity of DM. You kind of scrub that part away from the character, usually because at least the flaws described in the book are very so generic.
Yeah.
They're kind of ridiculous sometimes where it's that seems like that's a weird flaw to have as a character.
We should play with them.
We could go through it. We can go through it and see where we want to land.
System exploration, rules as written, baby. Delicious.
But yeah, I still have a lot of love for 2014.
Oh, I do too. I know a lot of people have asked me to switch, but I actually prefer, from what I've read of 2024, which we'll run on the channel at some point. By the way, I think they have actually officially changed the name to 5.5, which is funny to me. They just cannot make up their mind of what the system they created is. Not only the name.
It used to be 1.
It was going to be 1, and then it released as 2024 because it was supposed to be compatible with 2014. Now they're calling it 5.5, still saying that it's compatible with 2014, but then it's not because it changes certain rules, which literally you can't play with if you're playing 2014. Or if you're playing 2014, you can't play. It's just its own system, so they can't decide whether it's a system by itself or not. And then they also can't decide on the fucking name, which is hilarious. But people love it.
Sure.
And we'll play it on the channel at some point. But my preference is 2014 over between the two of them. I think 2024 leans a bit too far into the hero fantasy for me. You're like everything is a little bit more powerful or a lot more powerful depending on what it is. And for me, that's just there's nothing wrong with it. It's just a lean too far into the hero fantasy.
I mean, my familiarity is just 2014. I haven't, since 2014 came out and around the time of 2014 is kind of like the shift that we've had where we're playing a lot more other systems and where we're kind of so I just haven't had the time and haven't had the desire to really dive into the changes and the updates that 2024 brought.
Most of my experience just comes from classes because I have players that reach out to me and they're like, hey, can I play this 2024 class? So then I have to read it and blah, blah, blah. My answer for clerics is just no. 2014 clerics don't fit into a 2014 player party. So there's no way I'm going to give you a 2024 cleric. But, and it's bit me a couple times already in terms of balance, but like, sorcerers got a huge boon, but I would only put them at like A tier, not S tier in terms of a 2014 player party. So I have allowed 2024 sorcerers into my 2014 games, because sorcerers are just too squishy in 2014 in comparison to the A tier and S tier classes in 2014.
Yeah.
So the idea that, they're kind of being brought up to that level, I think that makes sense. I've not played with it really, but I believe monks are kind of the same way, where like a 2024 monk does fit into a 2014 player party decently. But like a lot of them don't. Like paladins don't. Paladins are already fucking S tier. Clerics are already S tier. You just can't bring in S tier things into 2014 because all of a sudden they're just going to be gods in your player party. It's not really compatible. But that's my only experience with it, is that people send me classes that they're interested in playing, and I have to review them and balance them for 2014 for my player party, or say no sometimes. Like I've had people ask me for clerics, and I'm like, no, just no.
Oh,
sorry, bud.
Also, just to clarify, it's hard. It's a little hard to kind of talk about this system in terms of presenting it to people who may or may not, or the idea of trying to present it as if people aren't familiar with the game.
Yeah,
but
because we're so familiar with it.
Something important to note: 5e is a D20 based system.
Yes,
so everything is D20. The book gives you suggestions for what are difficult and impossible things.
Yeah.
So like a normal thing is usually a DC 10, which is you roll your D20 and then you add whatever modifiers would apply for that roll.
Yeah.
So if you're trying to
be it an ability modifier, a skill modifier, your proficiency.
Yes. Whatever skill would be the most relevant thing to apply to the check that you're trying to make.
Yeah.
So the DC is it dice challenge? What's the
difficulty class?
Difficulty class. That's what it is. Difficulty class. And so 10 is an average thing, 15 is hard, and I think 20 is impossible.
I think not impossible, and I think you got those 1 too low, but we always thought that they were too high, which is why you're doing that. I believe 15 is considered medium. 15 is my go-to.
Yeah.
For
Sorry,
the record.
Yes.
So like, but because I've always thought that those are. But to be fair, we've also mostly played at lower levels, like between 1 and 8. So that's probably why we have that opinion as well. But like 20 happens all the time. Yeah. So you have a D20. That's how you would roll your abilities. Your abilities also drive specific skills. So while you can't be proficient in strength, there are skills driven by strength, such as athletics. And oftentimes your GM will ask you to make skill checks, for which would be your base strength score plus whatever level of proficiency you have in athletics. If you're doing an athletics check, for which you would roll a D20 and then add the skill modifier to that. If you are proficient in it, it'll be greater than your strength, even though it is strength based.
I found the table. So very easy is 5, easy is 10, medium is 15, hard is 20, very hard is 25, and then 30 is nearly impossible.
Yeah. I personally rack those down by 5. But
I mean, on average, I will find myself doing most DCs between 14 and 16. That's kind of like where I like to stick the general difficulty of things. And then depending on how hard it is, I will kind of go up a little bit. I usually don't ever set things to like 20. It would be like 18s and 19s are kind of the hardest I would go to. But again, we often have lower level things that we play. And the way 5e works is there is a scaling that happens to general checks where proficiency modifiers get applied to almost every kind of role for your character, and proficiency is something that you gain based off your level.
Or at least if you're playing into your character, you're almost always going to be adding your proficiency.
Yeah.
A proficiency is a different attribute that you have on your skill, which is basically a number that grows as you level up as a character, not necessarily as a class. And that gets applied to anything you are proficient to that would have a role to it. So like languages, no. Armor, no. But like weapons, if you are proficient with, a short sword for whatever reason, you get to add your proficiency modifier. And that might be a 2, a 3, a 4, a 5, or a 6. By the time you reach level 20, it would be a 6. So, and then proficiencies, you have half proficiency, proficiency, and expertise. Though most people only get proficiencies. They don't get half or expertise. Most classes.
Yeah. Some classes grant you expertise in certain things.
I think bards get half to everything, and then rogues get expertise to a couple of things.
Yeah.
And I'm sure there's other places where those things exist, but that's in general.
Yeah.
How that works.
And in general, the game is a experience points based system. At least that's what's described in the book. Is
not milestone.
Milestone is like an alternate.
Is it an alternate?
I believe so.
Oh,
milestone is the often what I've seen preferred way that people play.
I don't think I've ever seen anyone use XP for 5th edition.
Yes, almost nobody plays it, but it is literally the in the chapter describing advancement of your character. It is an experience. And if you build a new character, or if you whatever, you often have to switch over from experience to milestone when you how your character gains experience or levels up. And
what
just
do you
so
mean,
people,
like on D&D Beyond?
Yeah, on like D&D.
Okay.
And just so people are familiar, or to familiarize people with this, we're talking about leveling, like when your character levels up.
Yeah, your character has a level attached to them. Generally, that level is within a class. But your character holds a level because you can multi-class. So you can
multi-class. You can
3
apply
levels in this, 5
advancement.
levels in that. But you would be a level 8 character, and each level has a certain amount of XP attached to it to get to the next level.
Yeah, and then your level, like we were talking about earlier, determines your proficiency scores. So like a level 3 character has a +2 proficiency bonus. A level 13 character has a +5. So it changes based off of your overall level. When you add in, if you are multi-classing, you would add both levels of your multi-class together to get your character's true level.
What other systems do that? Have like a specific proficiency number, for proficiency value?
I think Pathfinder does it.
I think Pathfinder has something equivalent to that.
Well,
with Pathfinder, they use their base attack bonus instead, but that's also based on level.
Well, I'm talking about a specific value that sits all on its own, and then when you mark something as proficiency or proficient, you add that value to it, rather than
Pathfinder First Edition does that.
Rather than it being something like, oh, if you're proficient, it's doubled, or if it's proficient, you get a modifier.
If you're proficient, you get to add your base attack bonus to your skill or whatever.
Okay. I know. I believe Daggerheart has proficiency. I should know that already because I just read the book, but I believe it has proficiency, and it's based on like your level or something like that. So Daggerheart has it as well, but I'm not sure what other systems do, because like when I create systems, I prefer not to do it that way. I prefer proficiency to have like a direct like system meaning, or just not at all. I also like systems where you specifically train into an item, and so that item has a modifier that levels up almost on its own, and there's no like floating proficiency modifier anywhere on your sheet.
In my hybrid system, I've removed the proficiency bonus entirely and just gave you the opportunity to train a proficiency more.
Yeah.
So,
yeah,
I much prefer it that way. I don't like the
I like
number.
proficiency kind of just having its own meaning. Like for an example, a proficiency in something might mean you have a flat plus this to it, or a proficiency might mean that you
Can't just do a
double
thing.
your modifier, or a proficiency. Yeah, like Delta. Well, maybe not Delta Green, but yeah, a proficiency might be the only way in which you can do a thing. If you're not proficient in a longsword, you cannot use the longsword. You don't know how.
Or you just use it incredibly poorly.
Yeah. Yeah, there might be. Yeah, being non-proficient might have a flat meaning as well, where it's like, oh, you have a -10 to use things that you're not proficient in using. I prefer them having direct meaning rather than a value that gets distributed.
Mm-hmm.
But so again, in the system, the experience points are usually earned through the killing of monsters or creatures, or often played by like successful RP moments. But like you mentioned earlier, milestone is an often used alternate rule, which is just kind of to the DM's discretion. When he feels the players have reached a milestone, they've reached a culmination of some point of the story or some aspect of their character, he will give them a level up. And that's how you do progression. And then also I wanted to touch on something that Gray had mentioned, which is in 5e, what you are skilled at using is class determined. So if you want to use a longsword, it's going to be based off of whether or not your class has the ability to use a longsword.
Yeah.
So like weapons,
you can still use it. You're going to be using, if it's strength based or dexterity based, you're just going to be using your flat ability.
Yeah.
No extra numbers on top of it.
Yes. I'm trying to remember. Yeah. I think you just use the roll. I don't think you actually add anything to it.
No, you use
What do you mean?
If you have a strength or dexterity modifier, then you could use that.
If you are not proficient with
If you're not proficient, yeah.
Proficiency lets you add proficiency to it.
Okay. Yeah,
So
yes,
if if you have a +1 to strength and you're using a greatsword, then you just roll a d20 +1. If your proficiency bonus is 3 and you're proficient in the longsword, then you would do a d20 +4.
Yeah, I was treating it a little bit like how the game has a basic rule for two-handed fighting, which is like most people, I think, at least when I started playing, like misinterpret what two-handed fighting meant when you saw it on D&D Beyond. You're just like, oh, I guess I could just swing with two hands. Like, no, you get to swing with the second one if you have a second attack, or I think that's your bonus attack, bonus action, but you don't add anything to it.
You don't add damage to it.
Yeah,
you don't add any modifiers to the damage unless you have a specific
or the attack roll.
Yeah, unless you have a specific feat that allows you to do it. You still do the attack roll. It's just damage.
The attack roll unless you have the fighting style, 2-weapon fighting.
Yeah,
you don't add anything to the damage
or the attack.
No, the
just
attack still
damage.
gets it.
I swear you don't add anything to the attack.
Look it up, but it's just damage.
That would screw rogues so bad.
It's just damage.
Yeah, it's just damage.
I'm like 95% sure on this.
It's just damage. What?
A bonus action attack with the 2-weapon whatever is you roll your attack normally, but you don't add damage to the attack if it hits.
I mean, both of you are saying it, so I don't know. I remember it being different, but
the book is right in your hands.
I know, but I'd have to look for it.
I don't even know where that would be in
Exactly.
the book. 2-weapon fighting?
Yeah.
I don't know where that
It would be in the
book.
combat, attack roll, 2-weapon fighting.
Okay.
If you say so. I don't know. I don't know where that would be.
Yeah, because that would obliterate rogues, because their whole shtick is to get a sneak attack, and they don't get extra attacks. That's why so many rogues dual wield.
Yeah. Just multi-class in the fighter and take 2-weapon fighting, and then you'd be even more powerful as a rogue.
Or you could just take the feat. Although being a fighter rogue probably is really good.
Oh yeah. Oh, especially if you could do 2 levels in. You get action surge as a rogue.
Oh. Well, you can only sneak attack once a turn.
You can only sneak attack once a turn, yeah. And your attacks are absolutely shit without sneak attack if you're a rogue. A lot of subclass things for rogues give you bonus what is it? I forget the name of the of the subclass, but like psychic warrior or something like that. I don't know. But your psychic blades, as you level up, you get a bonus attack with your psychic blades, which is dope. It's just an extra dagger attack that you get to do, and no reason not to do it at range because you just emanate them into your hands. So it's pretty convenient. That's a pretty fucking cool subclass. I have a player that is currently playing that.
I'm so far divorced from 5th edition classes. I have all my own. I've given every rogue a special sneak attack. As opposed to, like, I think the Inquisitive is the only one that has a special sneak attack, and a Swashbuckler.
Cool. I feel like Swashbuckler is like, it almost should have its own class.
Maybe.
There's a lot of like in Pathfinder. There's a charisma based martial. It plays a lot like a rogue, except it's a lot about like flourishing and distracting and things like that. And it's like, yeah, man, you really just like, if you're building a system, you really want to like whatever class you are, or sorry, in every like style of class. So I guess if you're doing, that'd be like a caster, half caster, and martial. You want a class almost per attribute. So like you almost want a constitution based martial, as well as a dexterity base, as well as a strength based martial. Those should be 3 different classes. Because like, I don't know, there's just so much room for flavor to be a charisma caster or a wisdom caster, but also like a strength caster would be fucking sick. You draw on your like inner strength. That to me screams bloodline. Like sorcerer could be that, something along those lines of like just being your physical prowess is how your magic emanates. That'd be sick.
Goku.
Goku. What's up, man?
Yeah, you guys are right.
It's just about damage.
Yeah, it only affects. You don't add your ability modifier to the damage of the bonus attack.
Okay.
Unless the modifier is negative.
Okay. Talking about the hero fantasy, as I just looked down at my sheet, a short rest is defined by 1 hour of non-strenuous activity. A long rest is defined by like 8 hours of non-strenuous activity. And in this game, long rest is like a total reset. It is like all of your resources, all of your health, like almost every single thing on your character sheet comes back after a long rest. The only thing that doesn't necessarily would be items that have a resources restore at dawn. Beyond items, it's like a total reset. If you long rest, you heal entirely. All of your resources come back. It's like a total reset button.
Yeah, short of being a corpse, it's like it's the magic sleep.
Yeah.
That we all long to have.
Oh God, if I could, you know what? I don't even need all my resources back. If I could just have a long rest, that'd be sick.
I was about to say, if you could actually manage to get 8 hours in a night, then
yeah. That to me is already magic. I'm on 2 hours sleep and a 1 hour nap as we speak.
I'm trying to find when you do a short rest, your dice for the short rest that's your level, right?
The hit die? No, not is it just your level?
It's your level and also your class, correct?
Well, so an important thing to state there before we get into the answer of that is each class has a die class attached to it. So you might be a D6 based class, which means your health is rolled on a D6 or a D8 or a D10 or a D12. For example, like barbarians are a D12 hit class or hit dice. And then for a short rest, you have, I forget the math for this. It might be that simple. Just your level is how many hit dice you have. But you have a certain amount of hit dice that you can spend on a short rest, so 1 hour of non-activity, that you could roll to get health back, because your health is based on your hit dice. So if you're a barbarian and you have 5 hit dice and you take a short rest, you could roll up to 5d12 to get that much health back.
Yeah, I believe hit dice is just based off your level.
Yeah.
So you have one hit dice per level of that class, and the hit dice would be if you're
of that class.
If you're a barbarian, you have a D12. If you're a wizard, it's D6.
Yes.
Yeah. So if you are multi-classing, your hit dice would be
if you're a level 2 character that is level 1 wizard, level 1 barbarian, you have 1 D12 and 1 D6. That is how you determine your health at that level. as well as how many what hit dice you can roll on a short rest.
Mm-hmm.
Correcto.
Food and drink and water and all that stuff is something that's laid out in the book that almost nobody follows.
Nobody plays this as a survival game. It's too hero fantasy to play it as a survival game. When we get into actual character creation, I am going to start pretending that I don't know anything about this system, as I would like not in necessarily detail, but just a quick overview when we're talking about classes, an overview of the classes, an overview of the races that are in. There's not that many in the player's handbook, because I think that would be a good explanation for system exploration for anybody who's not played 5e.
Of course, yeah.
For what's available. So I am going to pretend that I know nothing, and you are going to teach me how to make a character sheet when we get there.
Sure. I was just trying to cover like
the basis of what it is.
Yeah, of what the game is, how traditionally people play it, how
Yeah.
the book suggests how to play it, how often it is used in certain circumstances.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, just like generally talking about the system.
Yeah. Which, by the way, all the way in 5th edition, Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition is a lot more dragons and a lot less dungeons. They still exist, and a lot of people write modules for dungeons. Dungeon crawls are absolutely a part of almost every single campaign, but there's a lot of what happens between the dungeons. And in this day and age, it's very much what has been used to tell these like grander stories and like city exploration, politics, world exploration. Like I know a lot of what I do is world exploration. There's a lot of time spent on the trail, in the woods, in the mountains. And yeah, sometimes you might go into a cave. There may be a dungeon. And then when I say it's a lot more dragons, I do feel like D&D 5e has a pretty big emphasis on creatures. A lot of it is people. But one thing I would like to talk about, mostly because I know I want to talk about the converse way of doing things that Daggerheart does, because I found it really interesting when reading through it in a later system exploration. But in this book, creatures are categorized by type, and then categorized, I would say, by CR rating. And the types would be... you're gonna have to fill in some of the blanks here, but there are humanoids, dragons, beasts, monstrosities, undead, oozes, plants. What am I missing? Celestials,
Aberrations.
aberrations.
Did you say monstrosity?
I did say monstrosities. And probably a couple of more, but it's literally the type of creature that it is, like what it would be categorized in the world. So like a bear would be a beast, and a zombie would be an undead, and I don't know what they're called in D&D, but like an ent from Lord of the Rings would be a plant. That would be its category type. And there are plenty of humanoids, which would be your atypical villains in maybe a political intrigue type of story. One of the most popular... No, actually... He would be undead. I was going to say one of the most popular modules would be Curse of Strahd. I don't know if he's categorized as undead or humanoid. That's a funny thought.
I mean, he's a vampire, so he should be undead.
I would assume undead.
Yeah.
I would actually assume undead. But yeah, so it's very much categorized by creature type, which is not necessarily a big thing to talk about, but it does kind of emphasize how important creatures are in D&D 5e. And when I say it's more dragons than dungeons in 5th edition, there are so many stories wrapped around the vast amount of creatures. One of the 3 core books, if you're considering playing D&D 5e, is an entire monster manual. There have been expansions on further monster manuals after that, and then almost every adventure adds monsters to it for that specific adventure. They call them monsters, but I would use the terminology creatures. It's a very creatures-centric system.
How progressive of you.
Well, because like it's weird to me that like a bear is a monster, and
A bear
it's-
is a monster.
and it's weird to me.
Think
It's
about
weird
it.
to me
Think
that a
about it.
city guard is a monster. It's a
A
weird.
bear is a
term.
monster. All right. And I already know you think cops are monsters.
Bears are beasts.
Well, when proven wrong, sit back and shut the fuck up. You are absolutely right. I am wrong. They're monsters.
The monster manual
So-
goes into more detail. It doesn't vary.
Bears are beasts, but all the creature types fit in under the umbrella of monster.
Everything, yes. Well, it's called a monster manual, is what.
Yeah, and
What
unlike
D&D
D&D
describes.
Beyond, you create a monster.
Yeah, monster is the
Even if it
general
is-
umbrella term.
Even if it is like the city merchant, that's a monster.
But yeah, the player's handbook doesn't really go into detail about the different
Really?
varieties of it. No, it just gives you examples of
Okay.
like a few creatures.
Everywhere else that I've seen it laid out, I think that comment will make more sense when we go over Daggerheart, because Daggerheart does it very differently, and I find it very interesting and very DM facing. But we'll go into that later.
5e is also grid based. At least the way it designs most things is it is a grid of squares.
Yeah, 5 foot.
In the DMG, there's an alternate for hex,
Mhm.
but for the most part, it considers itself grid based. It gives you sized creatures based off of that grid, and like how much space certain creatures of certain sizes will take up.
Yes, most even in all of the expanded books, most playable races
Are medium,
or species are medium.
which
Some
is
of them
5 by
fit.
5.
Some of them fit into small. I don't believe anything is outside of small or medium for players, but for creatures, there's tiny, small, medium, which again, think a person fits into that medium category. Large, huge, gargantuan.
Yes.
I believe there are 6 categories.
Mhm.
Gargantuan is probably the least understood of the categories because there is technically no top end. So
Yes, it is
so
just 20 by 20 or
it's
larger.
20 by 20 or larger, which means you could have 100 by 100 in it and not
could
reach
be,
another
It
category.
could be a 744 or a moon.
Yeah. So, but yeah, if you're trying to play some, what, is it kaiju?
Mhm.
Yeah.
If you're trying to play some kaiju shit, that's going to be gargantuan. Everything else you can relatively size pretty easily to fit within a 5 by 5 cube would mean it is a medium creature.
Yeah.
To fit in a 10 by 10 cube would mean it is a
And
large size creature.
and those cubes help determine where characters can move and how they can move across the battlefield, because your movement is based off of these 5 foot squares, and
Yeah.
if something is occupying a square, you can't move through that square.
Yeah.
And your feet or your speed determined on your character sheet is, you do 5 by 5 by 5. So everything
Mhm.
usually ends in, a multiple of 5 for your characters.
Yeah, which is very important because measurements are very integral to D&D 5e. All
Yeah.
weapons have a range to it. Most of them are melee, which means 5 foot. But there are some 10-foot weapons. But then when you get into ranged weapons and spells, you are dealing in 5 foot increments, so rounded to 5 foot increments. And then you have normal range and long range. Long range means you roll at disadvantage. This is a classic advantage, disadvantage in a D20 system. So roll 2 D20s. If it's advantage, you take the higher. If it's disadvantage, you take the lower. And then there are also, for a lot of area of effect things, there are spheres, there are cubes, there are cones, there are lines. There's a lot of different measurement tools, and it all is surrounded with that 5 foot measurement.
Mhm.
And it is all very important, which is why playing on the grid is often very important, especially if you have a more complicated combat. Those measurements are very important.
And also for, you lightly spoke on attacks. So in 5e, there are
turn economy.
there's actions in combat. So you can attack, you can cast a spell, You can dash, disengage, dodge, help, hide, ready, search, or use an object.
And then in the turn economy, that is your action. So on your turn,
Yeah.
you have an action. You can also have a bonus action,
And
which
you
is
have a movement.
bonus action is usually something specifically categorized by your class. Something will tell you that you can use
Yes.
it as a bonus action. You have your movement, which is your it'll show up on your sheet as, I believe, walk. Oh,
It's
it's just
speed.
speed on here.
Yeah.
So your speed. One of your actions is to dash, which means you could double your speed. But
Well,
that
a choice
uses,
you have as a as
yeah,
an action.
yeah, it's a choice. What you could do as your action, you could double your speed or up to double your speed. And then there are things that are considered non-actions. There are things that you can do, like shouting out or whatever, that are just not considered part of the turn economy at all.
Yeah, often I've heard referred to as a free action.
Yes, that's from older systems, though there are technically no free actions within 5e. But yes, it is the same exact thing. Free action, non-action. There are things. I believe non-actions is what's in the book, if I'm not mistaken. And it's things like stowing a weapon or, I don't know, taking off your pants. Overall, the way I explain it to new players is free actions or non-actions or anything that just doesn't affect what's going on. If you are just shouting, "I hate you, die," and you're not trying to back that up with a roll or anything like that, this is a non-action. If you want to pull down your pants and sing "Happy Birthday" in combat, it's a non-action. It's not affecting anything. Go ahead and do it. It's fine.
Yeah, the book doesn't necessarily. It describes it as other activity on your turn. It doesn't necessarily describe it as a non-action or free action. It's
Okay,
just-
so just other
yeah.
activity on your turn.
Yeah, you can also interact with one object or feature in your environment for free during either your move or your action. Or, for example, you could open a door, draw a weapon. Yeah, it doesn't give it a category. It is just part of the other things you can do on your turn.
Yes. Oh, another thing that should be spoken of is reaction. In your turn
Yes.
economy, you have a reaction, which means when it is not your turn, you can still act as a reaction, but they are very specific reactions within the game. One that everybody has, which is a whole ass feat in Pathfinder, by the way, and only fighters get it, I believe, is opportunity attacks. If someone leaves your melee range, you get an opportunity attack against them that uses your reaction.
Yeah, and you have one per
One per round. And then there are certain spells and abilities that will specifically tell you that they are reactions. If you have those, same thing. If there's no triggering effect, you can use them whenever you want. If there's a triggering effect, you use them only when they are triggered, but that still consumes your one reaction. So again, turn economy: action, bonus action, reaction, movement. Also, movement in this game, you can move 5 feet, do your action, move another 10
you can
feet,
break
do
up
your
movement.
bonus. Yeah, there's no order in which you have to do movement.
And then also one of the actions you could choose is called readying, which not a lot of systems have something like that, which is you can choose to hold your action during your turn, and then you consume the use of your reaction in order to do that action that you're holding during somebody else's turn in that round.
Yes, so you can hold an action to trigger as a reaction, but that is considered a shorter amount of time in the 6 seconds that a round is supposed to consume or take place in. Your reaction is a very small portion of that. So generally, like if you hold an attack, you are only holding one attack. You're not holding a whole action. You're using your action to hold an attack. I'm pretty sure that's how that works. And then you can hold other things as well. You can hold a hide action. You can hold a help action. Whatever you want to hold, you can. Very important, holding spells. If you are holding a cantrip, technically the cantrip is consumed, but a cantrip doesn't use any resources, so it doesn't matter. Leveled spells use a resource. I don't think we should get too greatly into that because it's different per class. But Generally, it's going to be a spell slot of some kind. If you hold a leveled spell, that spell slot is consumed.
Yeah.
Whether your action triggers or not. If you're waiting to see if they're going to attack you, and so you start casting or holding a spell, and then they don't attack you, you still consume the spell slot.
You are generally considered because you have already tried or starting to cast the spell. You are just, let's say, holding the last component of the spell.
Yeah.
Just for a quick trigger for it to finalize. But if the round comes to an end and it starts a new round, all of that resource it took to use that spell is gone. So you consume the spell slot.
Yeah.
Correct. There's also critical hits in this game where if you roll a natural 20 on the dice, you I believe you get to double the damage of the dice. That's the base rule.
Only the dice, but yes.
Yes, only the dice. So you just will either double what you roll, or you could roll the dice again. There are different damage types, and that does play into some of the creatures that you will fight. Some creatures will have resistance or vulnerability to certain damage types.
Yeah. There's a whole list of conditions in the appendix of the book, being like restrained, grappled, prone, blinded. There's a bunch of them.
Yeah, there's a lot. There's also the way death and being knocked out works, or going below 0.
Yeah.
There is, I don't know if there's instant death in the manual. Oh yeah, yes it is. If the total hit point loss matches or exceeds your max hit points. So if you have 30 hit points as a character and you get hit with, let's say, 60 damage from being full health, you will die instantly.
Yeah.
Because it matches your health pool in the opposite. And then if you go below 0 and you're not in that exceeding, not in the instant death pool, you get 3 chances, or you have...
You roll a d20, so you're in death saves. Every time it is your turn, you roll a death save. If it is 10 or above, that is a success. If it is a 9 or lower, that is a failure. If you get 3 failures, you die. If you get 3 successes, you get back up. If you critically fail or take damage, that is 2 failures. And if you critically succeed, that is you immediately come back to life at 1 HP, and also you are no longer unconscious, because when you hit 0 HP, you fall unconscious.
The damage being 2 applies if somebody deals damage, if you take melee damage.
If you take damage while unconscious
hit.
at 0. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
But it's automatically critical if you're
if you take an attack within 5 feet, it's critical automatically.
Yeah, and that becomes the 2 points of death saves.
But someone could shoot you from like 30 feet away.
It's the same thing. Like, it isn't just damage of, let's say somebody shoots you with an arrow and you're on the edge of a balcony and you get shot, fall unconscious, you fall off the balcony, hit the floor. That damage from the fall is just 1 point from your death save.
Yeah, you could get hit by a fireball while you're unconscious.
So it's just melee damage. That is,
it's just melee.
Well,
it's critical damage.
A critical hit.
Okay.
Imagine that corpse getting hit by like 2 fireballs for like 100 damage each, and you're just, he's
still
okay.
No, you're fine. As long as you have more than that as your maximum.
He still has 1 death save. He still has 1 death saving throw left.
Yeah, he's fine. He has a chance.
You're fine.
HP no longer exists when you're unstable.
Did you? You talked about a critical success being your stable.
Yeah.
Stable 1 HP, back in the fight.
Back in the fight, baby. Also, if you are ever healed, magically healed, you are back in the fight.
Yeah, you are just back up.
You are conscious again, back in the fight. If you succeed, this is the last thing I can think of. If you succeed, as in you roll 3 successes, you are no longer dying, you are stabilized, but you are still unconscious for 1d4 hours.
Yes, and
or
you are
until
at 0
someone wakes you
health
up.
points. Yeah, until somebody helps you or heals you.
Yeah. Fun stuff. I hope everybody gets to experience death saves. Generally rolled openly in D&D 5e.
Is there anything else about the system in general that you guys can think of?
I mean, I think we've covered it in actually pretty good detail. Probably more detail than we normally do for system exploration because we're very familiar with it.
I think part of it is trying to be very aware of like trying to talk about the system in a way that as if we're trying to talk to somebody who's unfamiliar.
Yeah. Which I plan to do for character creation as well after we do a break and we get into character creation and the actual story that we're going to be playing in 5e. I would like to continue down that path of basically speaking to the potentiality of audience who are not familiar with it.
Yeah.
Is there anything else anybody wants to say about 5e? Cool. All right. Well, then we will take our break. And when we come back, Nix is going to tell us a little bit about whatever we're going to be playing, whatever we might need to know, and then walk me and Gray through character creation in detail as we explore the character creation portion of the player's handbook. All right, welcome back from our break as we go into both the story that Nix has prepared for us, whatever the hook may be, that we need to design characters for, and then we would go into a detailed character creation within D&D 5e 2014.
To not give too much detail, but the general concept in terms of keeping it in your head is you guys will be a part of a advanced magical society. So I'm trying to think of like a setting or a world that would be
Similar.
something to the equivalent.
I mean, you could just describe yours if you'd like, to a degree. Of what yours
actually
is.
describing it, I think would give away some stuff.
Oh, okay.
But like you're not as familiar with like Critical Role.
Sure.
But like think Critical Role first season, a lot of the Exandria stuff, a lot of the like magic has taken the place of like, let's say locomotion and like how people travel from place to place. Think like almost Harry Potter-ish.
Okay, so advanced society through magic.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like magic is a big component of how the place runs. And so your class and your ability, so there's no limitation on class or race. You could be any class or race available in the book or any extended material if you guys choose to choose something, some other official content.
Variant human.
You can be.
What about unofficial?
I don't want to know. Well, maybe we can work it out.
Kobold Dampier.
Two kobold runners.
But yes, as mentioned, I mentioned to them before we started recording, you guys will be quote unquote runners for a subset of the society. And runners doesn't necessarily mean that you guys run back and forth. It's just you do tasks for people. So you guys are assigned certain people and they will give you certain tasks for them to do. It could be as simple as they're working on a project. You just have to go to a location in the city to retrieve something and bring it back to them. It could easily be that simple, but sometimes it could be a little bit harder where you guys are sent outside of the city to go complete something.
Yeah.
You guys are just part of the groups and classes of the society as you guys are just making your way up through your training, through your involvement in the city. Runners are it's a very known occupation in the society that you live in.
Okay.
It is something a lot of people do for decent money. It's not a very dangerous job for the most part. It can be dangerous, but for the most part, it is a common enough thing where people understand what you mean by you being a runner.
It's dangerous enough where people of prowess do it. But,
yes, it is something that
otherwise not always dangerous.
A non-skilled person or a non-magically inclined person would not become a runner.
Okay, so we should be either casters or half casters.
Sorry, magically inclined would all, as I talked about earlier with, maybe we said that in the break, which is your ability to heal yourself with like as a fighter. What is it called? Your
second win.
Second win. To me, that's magic. That's a magically inclined
To me, that's
person.
like adrenaline rush. But
the fact that you could just heal 10
Yeah.
up to 10 or 12 hit points just from breathing in real hard.
Yeah.
To me, that's a magically inclined person.
Sure.
Like rage, the way rage works. To me, that's magically inclined.
Okay.
Like fire breath stuff. Like a lot of the racial benefits that are in 5e. If a regular citizen doesn't have that on their stat block, then to me, that's beyond the capability of a normal person. You are magically inclined in some way.
Okay. I
So
always think of it as
I-
just more skilled or more prowess of
Yeah, I didn't mean to say that it's to limit you to having picking
Gotcha.
casters. I just also consider past a certain level
Okay.
that is a magically inclined person.
understood.
But yeah, that is the general theme.
What level?
4. This is going to be a level 4.
Okay. So we are going to have to pick subclass.
Yes.
Okay.
You're going to have to pick subclasses and then also the benefit. I believe 4 gives you the choice.
Or the feature or ASI.
Yeah. So you can gain a feat or you can also gain
Ability score.
ability
improvement.
score improvement.
Mhm.
Just so we could talk about what that means also
Sure.
for SE. Any questions?
I mean, it'll come up when we do the.
Any questions that might help? Okay. I'll go through the book in terms of how it sets up choosing or creating a character. And it's step by step. Its first step is choose your race.
Okay, race first.
Yeah.
Well, why don't we go over the races? What races are available in the player's handbook?
So in the player's handbook, it is dwarf is the first one that it talks about. And dwarfs have a constitution bonus. They are not as fast as some of the other races. They have dark vision. They have a resilience. So they have a resistance against poisoning. There is combat training, so they have access to certain weapons. They have their own armor training. And they have a strength score increase. That is a mountain dwarf. So there are also a hill dwarf and mountain dwarf. So there are sub races within the race. But yeah, think classic dwarfs, short and stout. These are the little subcategories: short and stout, long memory, long grudges, clans and kingdoms, God's golden clan. That is the little descriptions here.
Fun fact: in older systems, dwarves could smell gold.
I don't know what's in this God's golden clan. They do not have the smell gold ability anymore.
They do not.
Well, God dang it, man! They're just taking away all the fun.
There's a passage, a quote from Tolkien that makes that kind of iffy.
Oh God! I mean, but it's a huge. I mean, you can't deny the inspiration that Tolkien had in the general creation of
Elves, dwarves,
fantasy.
orcs, halflings, all that.
Yeah.
Everything goes back to Tolkien.
Yeah. Even again, like as we talked about before, 5e is very high fantasy. Tolkien is very low fantasy, or high magic, low magic. The next one in the book is elf. Its little subcategories or its subtopics are slender and graceful, a timeless perspective, hidden woodland realms, exploration and adventure, and there are a couple of classes or sub races in here, but you have a dex bonus. You age differently. Your alignment is a little bit predetermined in the book, at least. Your speed is 30, which is about the average for most races. You also have dark vision. You have a bonus to your proficiency, or you have a proficiency in perception. And you have Fey ancestry, which gives you an advantage to your saving throws against being charmed, and you can't be magically put to sleep. Your rest is shorter. Your trance allows you to have a shorter long rest. And then there are languages given, which is Elvish, I think.
Yeah. I think each class has each race has their own language. There are also more exotic languages.
Halfling is another one. Small and practical, kind and curious, blend into the crowd, pastoral pleasantries, exploring opportunities. There is a dex bonus for this class as well. There is a little bit of alignment, given alignment here as well. Generally, most halflings are good. There is a size, so you are a small category, you are 3 feet tall. The speed is also 25, much like the dwarf. You have a lucky ability, which is when you roll a 1 on a d20 for an attack roll or a saving throw, you get to re-roll that. Again, that's part of the thing what I said earlier about magically inclined. There's just some magical shit.
Certainly luck feels magical, yeah.
Yeah. Brave, you have advantage against being frightened. And you have halfling nimbleness. You can move through spaces of creatures larger than you. You have languages, which you have the halfling language, and that this also has a couple of subraces. Human is a broad spectrum, variety in all things, lasting intuitions, exemplars of ambition. Human names is probably not. There's oh wow, this has like areas in its own lore. I never noticed that.
Yeah, because by this time there's been tons of like written stuff about Faerun since second edition and stuff like that. So
yeah. I actually never paid attention to that before. That's cool. Damarin, Tetherian, Turami. There's like whole areas that is like about the name stuff. Anyways, you have an ability score increase that you get to choose, I believe. Oh no, all of your ability scores increase by 1.
Humans are like they're just kind of somewhat good at everything, so you get an ability score increase across the board.
Yeah, this is also 30 feet speed. You get to choose language. Dragonborn are proud dragonkin and self-sufficient clans. I think 30 feet speed as well.
The only races that don't have 30 feet speed are the short ones.
Yeah. This is strength increase and a charisma increase. You have a breath weapon. You have some damage resistances. Gnome, one of the shorter races. You have a couple of abilities from this. You have the Gnome Cunning, Dark Vision, a couple sub races. Half Elf. This also has the Fey ancestry. Dark Vision. Half Orc. Tiefling. Any of those you guys want to? It's just a lot.
I know. So I asked for a brief overview of each one. I mean, half orc's pretty obvious. Tieflings have like demonic ancestry, I believe.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So you're kind of like a relatively demon creature. I believe they are alignment neutral evil, or
No, they're.
chaotic neutral.
I don't think they have real ones.
Are they
Tiefling
neutral?
is a tendency towards evil.
Tendency towards evil.
Yeah, that's at least in the book that's the alignment.
Okay. I definitely feel like I know I'm playing too much on the title here, but runners, I feel like I don't want to be any of the shorter races.
Yeah, you don't necessarily need to play into
I
that.
know,
but runner is just I think of like a PA. Like
Yeah,
in
but I'm
terms of that.
going to is the thing.
You can.
I'm a runner. Gnome.
I mean, the
okay.
halfling is the one that gives you the little lucky bonus. That might be very beneficial as a runner.
So it's a half orc, half elf, elf, human, gnome, dwarf, halfling, dragonborn,
Yes, half orc, tiefling,
tiefling.
and tiefling. Really?
half orc, tiefling, elf, gnome, dragonborn, human.
I forgot Tiefling was PHP.
I did. I'm kind of surprised. I knew Dragonborn was because it always stood out to me as like that feels like an expansion thing, but it's not. And then like Tiefling, I would have before today. I would have thought it was an expansion.
Yeah.
I would not have thought that to be Player's Handbook.
Yeah, I thought that them and Azamar would be like a whole other deal.
Yeah. By the way,
Yeah.
there's like 80 plus races
Yeah,
now,
there's a lot more.
species within the expanded
Yeah,
5e
if you've
universe.
seen it in a world, it's probably a playable race by now, officially.
Although Pathfinder even more so. Pathfinder has countless.
They have like sub-races of sub-races of sub-races.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And kind of like what you mentioned earlier, are you both just going to be using PHP stuff? Or
Yeah.
do you guys want to use something from...
I just use PHP.
PHP.
Okay. Do you guys have anything you're looking at right now?
Probably human elf or half elf. Keep it easy.
Yeah.
That'd be my
Is
expectation.
human variant allowed?
Human variant, not in the PHP.
Yeah, not
Is it?
here, I don't
No.
think.
It's also banned at most tables.
Really?
Yeah, because it's just a pitch to get a free feat.
Yeah. I mean, that's what makes your character interesting. Yeah.
I mean, yes, but you're getting a free feat beyond everybody else. But
Well,
yes, I
maybe
get
they
it.
should be humans. Have they ever thought of that?
Have they ever thought of?
I mean, the human variant is also my... Oh, wait. Yeah, variant human. So in your campaign, uses optional feat
Optional.
rules from Chapter 6. Your dungeon master might allow variant traits, and the ability score is 2 different ability scores of your choice increased by 1, and then you gain 1 feat of your choice. So I would allow it because it's here. So if you want to be a variant human, you could be a variant human. You want to go with that?
I don't know.
Okay.
Kobold's PHP. Or my Kobold's PHP.
Are your Kobold's PHP?
Like I said, you don't have to stick to PHP. We can work it out if you
No,
want
it's
to be a
fine.
kobold.
None of it matters, so there's no reason not to.
I'm just saying. It'd be a lot more fun if I was like this the entire time.
Come on.
I'm not going to ever not allow the participation of your kobold voice into anything we do. So if you want to run kobold, I'll let you run kobold.
That's so funny. Runners, high magic. I guess I'll just go elven. Why not?
Okay.
Or I'll go half elven. I'll go half elf.
You're going to go half elf?
Yeah.
Okay.
Best of both worlds.
So you're medium, 30 speed. You have dark vision.
Slow down. Let me get in here. All right. Race, half elf. Where is size on here?
Is it not up at the top?
I mean, it's probably not there just because it assumes you're medium.
Probably. Okay. Speed 30.
Yes.
Okay. I don't know that there's anything else that I need from. The racial traits.
You get a charisma increased by 2, and then 2 other ability scores of your choice increased by 1.
Okay. I will hold that for later.
Yeah, your age is wherever you often exceed 180 years, and you reach adulthood at 20, wherever you want to fit.
120 years.
Often exceeding 180.
Oh, okay. Whatever.
So whatever you want to be, you look and act, or you are an adult at 20.
Yeah.
And then
Okay.
You share a chaotic bent of your elven heritage.
A what?
You share a chaotic bent as far as your alignment.
Oh.
They value both personal freedom and creative expression, demonstrating neither love of leaders nor desire for followers. They chaff at rules, resent others' demands, and sometimes prove unreliable or at least unpredictable.
Okay.
So however you want to fit that into your alignment.
And then racial traits,
Fey ancestry.
which
You gain advantage on saving throws against being charmed, and magic can't put you to sleep. You also have dark vision.
60 feet.
Yes. Your speed is 30, if I didn't already say that.
Mhm.
You have skill versatility, which is you gain proficiency in 2 skills of your choice.
Mm-hmm.
And then you can speak, read, and write Common, Elvish, and 1 other language.
Looking for where? Oh, okay. Common, Elvish, and 1 other language.
Mhm.
Okay. Understood.
And that should be it.
Copy that.
Gray? Are you gonna try to figure out kobold later, or
No. As fun as that would be, there's a particular class of people who play this race that I find the most obnoxious whenever I find them in D&D channels.
So you're going tiefling.
Bingo!
Okay.
I genocided a lot of tieflings in Baldur's Gate.
All right. Well, your intelligence score goes up by 1, and your charisma up by 2. You age like a human, and then tieflings might not have an innate tendency towards evil, but many of them end up there. Evil or not, an independent nature inclines many tieflings towards a chaotic alignment. However, you want to figure that out. You are a medium.
Mm-hmm.
Speed is 30. You have dark vision, 60 feet. You have resistance to fire. Is your hellish resistance.
That's nice. So fire damage halved.
Yeah. You have an infernal legacy, so you know thaumaturgy cantrip. And then when you reach the 3rd level, you can cast hellish rebuke as a 2nd level spell. Once you use this trait and regain the ability to do so once you finish a long rest. The other part of this is 5th level, but we're not there yet, so you just get the hellish rebuke.
Page 3 has your spells. Okay. Just making sure you know. Okay.
You can speak, read, and write common and infernal. And that is all of your traits as a tiefling. Cool.
Sweet.
Now it's classes. So in the book is barbarian, bard, cleric, druid, fighter, monk, paladin, ranger, rogue, sorcerer, warlock, and wizard. And I mean, this is very helpful that it actually has like a table for it. So the barbarian is a fierce warrior of primitive background who can enter battle rage. Bard is an inspiring magician whose power echoes the music of creation. Cleric is a priestly champion who wields divine magic in service of higher power. Druid is a priest of old faith, wielding the power of nature, moonlight, plant growth, fire, lightning, and adopting animal forms. Fighter is a master of martial combat, skilled with a variety of weapons and armor. Monk is a master of martial arts, harnessing the power of body to pursuit of physical and spiritual perfection. Paladin is a holy warrior bound by sacred oath. Ranger is a warrior who uses martial prowess and nature magic to combat threats of edges of civilization. Rogue is a scoundrel who uses stealth and trickery to overcome obstacles and enemies. Sorcerer is a spellcaster who draws on inherent magic from a gift or bloodline. Warlock is a wielder of magic that is derived from bargain with extraplanar entity. A wizard is a scholarly magic user capable of manipulating the structures of reality. So, do you guys have any inclination for what you want to go with?
So we've already determined you're martial.
Okay.
I'm mage. We don't like wizards because that's our
wizards
thing.
are stupid. Yeah.
Yeah,
You gonna go full caster?
probably. Sorcerer or bard?
If you play a bard, I'm gonna be so upset. I kind of want to see you play a bard though. Like both, I don't want to play with a bard, and I really want to see you play a bard. I'm very torn down the middle on that.
I mean, I know you guys don't normally play into this, but your primary abilities as a bard or a sorcerer
Is charisma.
Are charisma.
That's why I chose it too.
Yeah.
So I'm the tiefling bard this time.
Oh my
Cool, cool,
goodness. A tiefling bard. That is awful.
You have access to light armor, simple weapons, hand crossbows, long swords, rapiers, short swords as a bard. Your hit dice is a D8.
Say those again.
Light armor, simple weapons, hand crossbows, long swords, rapiers, and short swords. You have a D8.
I just need the weapons.
Okay.
Long, short,
rapiers.
and rapier.
Your saving throw proficiency is dexterity and charisma.
Rogue, barbarian, or fighter?
I mean, you already know my choice there.
What's your choice there?
It's gonna be the fighter.
Okay.
You going fighter?
Sure, I'll go fighter.
Okay. You have all armor, shields, simple, and martial weapons.
1 second. Where are proficiencies in here? Okay, so all
You just put everything.
armor, weapons. I'm gonna class that.
Yeah, all
Shields
armor,
with-
shields, simple and martial weapons.
Mm-hmm.
Your saving throw proficiencies are strength and constitution.
Okay.
And you are a D10 for your hit die.
Where does that go? It's so funny looking. Oh, there we go. It's so funny looking at a written character sheet because I'm just not used to it. I'm used to the Foundry standard, the old Foundry character sheet, which I love how it's laid out.
Mm-hmm.
I'll have to show it to you guys. It's so non-flavorful, but just so utilitarian. The Foundry one that I like. Okay. Fighter. And then do I get any starting feats?
Let me look up. The first one to come up is Bard. Your constitution is first level is the D8 plus your con. Your hit points.
Mm.
And then you roll the D8 from there. You got that, Gray?
Yep.
You are fourth level. Your proficiency bonus is +2. You gain the ability score improvement, or you could sub that for the feat.
I want to sub that for the feet.
Okay. You know 3 cantrips. You know 7 spells.
You have an ASI at level 1?
4.
What was that?
Oh, you're talking from level 4.
For level 4, yeah.
Okay.
How many cantrips was that?
3.
And 7 slots, 7 spells total.
Yeah, 7 spells known.
And the spell slots.
4 at first, and 3 at second.
Okay.
You got your proficiency bonus?
It was +2.
+2. Let's see what else is. You have Bardic Inspiration.
How many do I have? That's based on my charisma, or is it based on my level?
Give me 1 second.
Probably the one class I haven't played yet.
Bard?
Yeah.
That's funny.
You can use this feat equal to the number of times to your charisma modifier.
Ooh.
And it is a D6. And at the level we're going to play at, it doesn't increase yet. So you are still just a D6. A creature has to be within 60 feet of you for you to use Bardic Inspiration. And just fill people in, Bardic Inspiration can be added to an ability check. Well, ability check, attack roll, or saving throw from a creature. He just gets to help homies out. And then you add half your proficiency bonus rounded down to any ability check you make that doesn't already include your proficiency bonus.
Yeah, you are half proficient, however you want to mark that on your sheet,
Yeah.
on everything that you're not proficient
+1 to
in.
everything. What are my skill proficiencies?
Skill. Choose any 3.
Just flat choose any 3.
Just flat choose any 3.
Bard. Get to do anything. Whatever you want.
You have 3 musical instruments of your choice. I already told you your saving throw proficiencies, right?
Yes.
We won't worry about starting equipment.
What do you mean?
You get equipment.
Yeah.
I was saying we won't worry about that because you'll have your my story will have a whole.
Okay. Your story is going to deal with that.
Yeah, my story will deal with what you have.
Okay.
You also get to choose your Bard College.
I don't really know anything about those, so
You're going to have to go over Bard College. So that's your subclass.
yeah, I know. I don't know them all that well.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we should explain them anyways as system exploration.
Yeah, I'm looking which ones are available. I think there's only 2 available in the PHB. So you have College of Lore and College of Valor. College of Lore, you get at 3rd level, you get a bonus proficiency with 3 skills of your choice. You get Cutting Words, which is You use your bardic inspiration to go against the attack roll, ability check, or damage roll of a creature. And then you get other bonuses at 6th and 14, but we won't worry about that.
What was the first feat?
The first is bonus proficiency.
Just one?
You get three more bonus proficiency. And then the cutting word is you get to
Yeah, I
use-
know that one.
College of Valor, let me just go over that real quick, is a bonus proficiency to medium armor, shields, and martial weapons. You get combat inspiration. You can add to AC, and you can add to damage roll.
I'll go with the lore.
Okay.
So 3 bonus proficiencies to whatever skills I want.
Whatever skills of your choice.
And cutting words.
You can, by the way, in between sessions, session 0 and session 1, you could take that book with you if you want and look at the spells.
I can look
Or
up
you
and
just look
beyond.
them up online, yeah. Probably easier. Just recreate your character on D&D Beyond and it'll show you exactly what spells you have.
Yeah.
You have Song of Rest also, which is just another ability. So you regain hit points at the end of your short rest by spending 1 or more hit dice. Each of those, and each creature that is part of your Song of Rest will also recover that much. So your hit dice can heal your party. You gain expertise as well. You choose 2 of your skills, and they gain expertise.
And explain expertise. That's
you double your
Double
proficiency.
proficiency.
And then you have the ability score improvement, which is you're going to choose.
Yeah.
And that should be everything. And then we'll between sessions, we can double check, make sure I didn't forget anything. And then you, sir, are picking the fighter, correct?
Yeah, what did I get as a level 1 fighter?
As a level 1 fighter or level 4?
Well, we haven't done level 1 yet. We should go through the progression.
Sure.
Just because it might be easier.
So at level 1, you get your fighting style and second wind.
Okay, go over fighting styles for me.
Let's see. Well-rounded specialist, blah, blah, blah. Where is fighting style? What's in the PHB? You have the choice between archery, defense, dueling, great weapon fighting, protection, and 2-weapon fighting. Archery gives you a +2 bonus to your ranged weapon. Defense is a +1 bonus to your AC while you're wearing armor. Dueling is when you wield a melee weapon in one hand and no other weapons, you gain a +2 bonus to damage rolls with that weapon. Great weapon fighting is when you roll a 1 or 2 damage on a die that you when you roll a 1 or a 2 on a damage die for an attack you make with a melee weapon that you're using both hands with, you can re-roll the die. You must use the new roll. The weapon must have the 2-handed or versatile property for you to gain this.
Yeah, I was planning on using the greatsword. If possible in your story.
Yeah, it's fine. Protection is...
What second wind?
Oh, you don't want to hear the other ones?
Well, you hadn't told me what second wind is, so I could write it on my sheet.
Oh, I didn't go through all the styles yet.
Oh, you just mentioned... Oh, sorry. Yeah. Go ahead. Sorry.
Protection is when a creature you can see attacks another target other than you within 5 feet. You can use your reaction to impose disadvantage on the attack roll.
Okay.
You must be wielding a shield.
Okay.
2-weapon fighting is you engage in 2-weapon fighting. You can add your ability modifier to the damage of the second.
Okay.
I assume you're going.
I'm going with great weapon.
Yeah. Second wind is you can regain hit points equal to 1d10 plus your fighter level.
One moment.
And then once you use this, you must finish a short or long rest to get it back. Okay. At second level, you gain action surge, which is you gain another use of an action.
Okay.
And you must finish a short or long rest to get that back. And then at third level, you choose your martial archetype.
Okay. What are the options in the PHP?
Let's see here. You get the option of champion, battle master.
Battle Masters in the PHP?
Yeah.
It is.
Oh, snaps!
Eldritch Knight. Is that it?
I
Yeah.
know there's not many.
It's only 3. Most only have 3.
Yeah, it is only 3. Yeah, it is champion, battle master, Eldritch Knight.
Talk to me about Eldritch Knight.
Eldritch Knight. You become a half caster. So you gain spells.
Pass. All right. I'm trying to stick with the whole Marshall thing.
I'm just.
Magic pass. So it was champion, which
Champion is the
crits?
one where you gain the critical at 19.
Critical at 19.
And then at your level, nothing more.
Yeah. And then Battle Master, I get what, 2 Battle Master points or Battle Master die. And I get to choose, I think, 1 Battle Master move or 2.
You learn are fueled by special dice called superiority dice. You gain maneuvers. You learn 2 additional maneuvers.
Learn 2 maneuvers. How many die do I have?
You have 4 superiority dice, which are D8s.
4. Fucking hell, that's pretty good for level 4. Read me out the battle maneuvers. That would be my options that I could choose 2 from.
Okay.
As I write Battle Master on my character.
Yeah, I knew as soon as I saw Battle Master was here, I knew that's what you're going with.
You mean the good fighter class? The fun one?
Oh my lord. Okay, you have Commander Strike, Disarming Attack, Distracting Strike, Evasive Footwork, Feigning Attack, Goading Attack, Lunging Attack, Maneuvering Attack, Menacing Attack, Parry, Precision Attack, Pushing Attack, Rally, Riposte, Sweeping Attack, Trip Attack.
Oh my god. Okay, we obviously don't want to read all of them. Read me Riposte.
Riposte is when a creature misses you with a melee attack, you can use your reaction and expend 1 superiority die to make a melee attack against the creature. If you
Done.
hit, you add the superiority. Okay, yeah. You add it to the attack damage.
Okay. And then
You want me to go?
read me goading.
Goading attack is when you hit a creature with a weapon attack, you can expend 1 superiority die to attempt to goad the target into attacking you. You add the superiority die to the attack's damage roll, and the target must make a wisdom saving throw. On a failed save, the target has disadvantage on all attack rolls against enemies other than you.
Wait. So they do damage equal extra damage to me?
You goad, you use your superiority dice, you add that to your attack damage.
Okay.
And now they have to if they try to attack anything other than you, they have disadvantage.
Yeah.
So they are incentivized to attack you.
Okay. Shit. Speed run me the options again.
Commander Strike. I think you remember that. That's the one where you can have an ally attack for you.
No thanks.
Disarming attack.
Maybe.
Distracting. Do you want me to go read disarming?
No, distracting. Read me distracting.
Distracting strike. When you hit a creature with a weapon attack, you can expend a superiority die to distract the creature, giving your allies an opening. You add the superiority die to attack roll.
No thanks.
The next attack roll against the target by an attacker other than you has advantage.
Nah.
Evasive footwork.
Nah.
Feinting attack.
Nah.
Lunging attack.
Maybe. What is it?
You increase your reach by 5. You add
That's so useful.
You add the superiority die to the attack.
Wow, that's useful. But no.
Maneuvering attack.
Nah.
Menacing attack.
Maybe.
You add to the damage roll. The target must make a wisdom saving throw or be frightened of you until the end of your next turn.
Nah. I'm going to go with goading.
Parry.
Oh, what's parry?
When a creature damages you with a melee attack, you can use your reaction and spend a die to reduce the damage by your superiority and your dex.
Nah, goading.
Okay. Precision attack. Oh, wait, you only have 2.
I only have 2. I'm going to do the goading.
Yes, you only have 2. You also gain a proficiency with one type of artisan's tool of your choice.
1 moment. the battle master, the superiority die. What is the dice class?
It's a D8.
And then
You have 4.
short rest or long rest?
Short rest.
Okay, and then you were saying, sorry, tools?
Okay, never mind. You gain proficiency with one type of artisan's tool of your choice.
Okay.
And then your saving throws is some of your maneuvers require your target to make a saving throw to resist the maneuver's effects. The saving throw DC is calculated as follows. It is 8 plus your proficiency bonus plus your strength or dex.
Oh, I do have that. So saving
Yeah, I think it's goad is
saving throw is equal to what?
8 plus your proficiency plus your choice of strength or dex.
Okay. I haven't even done we haven't gotten to ability scores yet. Okay.
Yeah, and then I believe we have second wind, we have axe and surge, your martial archetype, and then you have an ability score improvement. So you can choose that or a feat.
Which I think we're going to do feats for this campaign.
Okay, you can
So we'll have to read through the list of available feats in the PHP.
Sure.
Any proficiencies or anything like that?
Your proficiency bonus is +2. If you hadn't already written that down.
No extra chosen proficiencies of like skills or anything? I'm guessing I do.
Your hit dice is D10.
Mm-hmm.
Your hit points at level 1 is 10 plus your con.
Yeah, and then it's roll plus con for every other level.
You have no tools. Your saving throws are strength and constitution. Your armor is all armor and shields. Your weapons is simple weapons, martial weapons. Your skills are choose 2 skills from acrobatics, animal handling, athletics, history, insight, intimidation, and survival.
Okay.
You want to go over that again, or you're...
Nope. I got it. I chose athletics and intimidation.
Okay.
I have a specific character in mind at this point. That's why I chose both riposte and goading. I understand this is a 2-player party. One of the players is a caster. So I need to be in the front, goading people into attacking me, and then hitting them back whenever they miss me. And for that, strength and con heavy, athletics, intimidation heavy. Makes sense to me.
I just realized too that you could, Gray, you could probably also I should just ignore the pack, but you should choose your weapon. So you have a rapier, a longsword, or a simple weapon.
Go with the rapier.
Okay. And then you have a lute or any other magical instrument. And then leather armor and a dagger. And that will be, some of that will be slightly modified, but I just noticed it on Sovs. I was like, oh yeah, I should probably, you can choose your armor and weapon here. Sov, you have a choice of chainmail, leather armor, longbow, or arrows. As your choice one right now.
Right armor in.
Well, the armor is 11 AC, correct?
I don't remember off the top of my head.
I guess just in this. There's no inventory on this character sheet? Oh, equipment. Okay, equipment.
What the hell? Oh, there it is. Leather is 11 plus dex.
What were my options again? It was leather or chain?
Leather, chainmail. You can also, instead of getting armor, you can get a longbow with 20 arrows.
Chainmail does or does not have disadvantage to stealth?
Chainmail is you need minimum strength 13 and disadvantage to stealth.
Okay, I'll do leather.
Okay.
Which is
11 plus dex.
11 plus dex.
And then you also have the choice of a martial weapon and a shield, or 2 martial weapons.
Do tieflings have a subrace?
Have what?
Have a subrace?
No, I don't think so.
I don't know if in the PHB they do. Let me double check for you. No, not in the PHP.
Okay.
Did you hear the weapon thing?
Yeah, I chose a great sword and a dagger.
A light crossbow and 20 bolts, or 2 hand axes.
Oh, shit. Oh, I'll get rid of that dagger then. And okay, so I could do a martial and a shield. And then 2 hand axes.
Yes.
Or a bow? No,
It's a light crossbow with 20 bolts.
not a bow guy. Shield is a +2 to AC.
I believe so. Let me double check. Yes, +2 to AC.
Okay. Hand axes are thrown, right?
Yes, they have the thrown property.
I thought so.
At least I'm pretty sure.
They do.
Yeah, thrown range is 20-60,
Ah, damn.
and they are 1d6.
Sorry, I could do 2 martial weapons or a martial and a shield, and then 2 hand axes and crossbow.
Mm-hmm.
Don't really need the shield.
You don't, but you can, with that situation, you can have like a hand axe in one hand and a shield if you ever
Yeah.
find yourself not needing the greatsword. Or you could just choose like a greatsword and then some other martial weapon. You can carry like a greatsword and a longsword. The longsword has versatile, so you could use it two-handed to use your abilities.
Oh yeah, that's a good point. Okay.
Okay. I think that is it for your classes.
Mm-hmm.
And then we go back to the steps. Now you can determine, if you haven't already, determine your ability scores.
Partially. I got
I heard dice rolling.
not a
when I was-
wonderful loadout. I got So 4d6 dropped the lowest.
Yeah.
I got a 16, a 9, a 10, a 12, a 13, and a 12. So a very average character with one standout, both bad and good stat.
Yeah, there is the ability point system if you want to go by it, and there's a standard
No.
array.
No.
And just you make sure that you know that the option is there.
I know nothing.
Okay. I don't know if you guys care at all about what the suggested primary abilities for your classes. For a bard, it's charisma. And then for your fighter, it is strength or dexterity.
The what? Sorry?
It's just the books recommended what your primary ability should be.
Oh, yeah.
We've already done some of this stuff already, but describe your character.
Yeah, we'll get there in a sec. Yeah, I gotta still level up my health as well. So I'm going strength 16, dex 12, con 13, intelligence 9, wisdom 12, charisma 10, which becomes charisma 12 because I am
Yes.
half elf. Which gives me a +1 to charisma. And then I will +1 my intelligence just to give me that average intelligence, because why not? And then I will +1 my con, which will give me a +2 to con. And then I can do my maths and my health rolls. Oh, and that also makes my dexterity a 1. So that remains the same. 11 plus 1 dex. Bad dex. Crazy. Level 4 fighter with only 12 AC.
That's rough.
That's so low.
That's pretty rough. I mean, your shield, if you had, oh no, you didn't go with shield.
And well, no, I have a shield, but great sword.
Rough.
Yeah. But then if I went into Dex instead, then I'd be shit at using the greatsword.
Yeah.
So like, what's the point? Okay. Health. D10. So my starting HP is 10 plus my con of 2, so 12. And then level 2, bad roll. I rolled a 3. Plus 2 plus, so that's a plus 5. I rolled a 4, so that's a plus 6. And an 8. 8's good. That'd be a plus 10.
Alternatively, what a lot of losers like to do is to just take the average of their dice.
I mean, I do that. I mean, I like everything simple.
Do you want the book and dice to determine your character's height and weight?
Yeah.
Sure.
So as a tiefling, your base height is 4'9", and then you will add 2d8 inches to that.
11 inches. 4'9" to 5'8".
Yes. Your base weight is 110 pounds, and you will multiply that by 2d4.
Multiply?
Yeah, that's what it says. I think you're just a stocky boy.
That doesn't sound right.
It's base weight 110, and then weight modifier times 2d4 pounds. You could be like 400 pounds.
Yeah, it doesn't sound right at all.
Unless
Unless a tiefling is like made of fucking rocks.
Wait. What was the rules?
So the rules for tiefling is, unless I'm reading something wrong.
Read it word for word.
So random height and weight. It's a table. It is 110 pounds is base weight. And then it says weight modifier is times 2d4 pounds. So I don't know. Players rolls. Let me see.
What times 2d4?
Yeah.
Because surely it's not base times 2d4.
That would be crazy.
Yeah, because then I'd be 770 pounds.
Oh, yeah. I'm ridiculous. It is the what you roll for your height modifier.
Your height times 2d4.
Yeah.
Okay.
No. So like what you rolled 11.
So yeah, so
11 times 2d4 gets added to 110.
okay.
That is way more sensible.
Yeah, I would love for you to have a 400-pound tiefling though. That's
700. I rolled 2d4.
Oh yeah, 2d4.
So that's 700.
I love it. You're made out of fucking neutron stars. I love it.
Your passive perception, if the book doesn't tell you, is 10 plus your wisdom mod,
Oh, okay.
basically.
Do you want to roll your height and weight?
Yeah.
You are a half elf. Your base height is 4'9", and you're gonna roll 2d8.
2d8
Yep. You're gonna add
inches.
that as inches to your height, and you're gonna multiply that by same as Gray. 2d4 for your pound.
Okay. So, sorry, 2d8 inches.
2d8.
Right?
This is gonna be what you add to your height.
Not very tall.
What'd you add?
Hold on. I'm 5'4". Oh my god, that's awful.
Hey,
For an elf?
hey, you're half.
I'm pretty
elf.
sure elves are supposed to be tall in this system.
You're
Is
a half.
there-
You're a half elf.
They're a Tolkien.
Elves roll 2d10s for their height.
I'm rolling
Bonuses.
another d8. 5'8" is still really. You know what? I'm gonna keep it and just add a foot because that's fucking crazy. For like even for a human, 5'4".
Hey man,
That's short.
People,
That's short.
People come in all shapes and sizes, okay?
They do. That's so funny that, like, that's crazy. 5'4", I guess. I don't like that.
That's an elf from my world.
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
That's so funny. It's also so funny how, like,
I love how visceral your reaction.
I don't like it because it's just not in my mind of what elves are. Like in my mind, elves are like 5'10" minimum 5'10".
I mean, even in this, the elves are 4/6 base, and you add 2d12 or 2d10s.
Or what? 4/6 base?
4/6 base.
It's even lower. Look, hold on, this is crazy. 2d10s?
2d10s.
Where did my d10 go? Oh, there it is. Yeah, it'd be 5'6".
Hey man, I didn't make the table.
Why is everybody so tiny in this? I'm just gonna write 6 foot because that's crazy. I don't think I could wrap my head around a human half elf or. I mean, I can wrap my head around a human, but
Pretty sure I'm 5'6".
yeah, it's mind blowing to me of anyone of like elven ancestry to be
That small.
yeah. I'm gonna go 5'10".
Okay.
I'm not pushing it too much. I am still short for an elf in what Sov's brain should be the very bare minimum for an
Okay.
elf.
So you're adding 13 inches
Okay.
to your character. So you're gonna do 2d4, and you're gonna add that to your weight.
So I got 4. So 4 times 13. Okay. Hold on. Where do I write my height and shit? Okay.
And you're adding that to 110. So you'd be 164 pounds.
164 pounds?
I think so.
Yeah. I mean, elves being scrawny, again, lines, that's fine. The weight one doesn't bother me at all. What was it? 164?
Should be 164, I think.
Whatever. I'm fine with it.
We have your alignments. You guys want to choose yours? Essentially, there's good, chaotic good, lawful neutral, chaotic neutral, lawful evil, neutral evil, chaotic evil. It's all just like, I mean, I don't know.
Do you roll for it or what?
No,
No.
you just choose it.
You get
It's
to choose it.
and almost wholly meaningless in 5th
Yes.
edition.
Yeah.
For the most part, it's supposed to describe your character's inclination to the kinds of behaviors that they're going to have.
I mean, it's giving me some idea because I wrote chaotic because it said
Because you're
half elves lean
there's
chaotic.
a racial inclination in the books about what
Yeah,
alignments.
I'm fine leaning towards that. In my mind, I am a not entirely loyal company man. In my mind, I'm like, hey, I'm a runner because running's good. If it's reasonable, I'll do a good job.
Even in the book,
I'm Trent.
yeah. Even in the book, it was a little bit of like you're not too crazy about authority. Like
Yeah.
you're.
Yeah. So like, I get paid. It's a good career. If it ever stops being that,
Did you guys get any languages for your characters?
I wrote Dwarven.
Okay,
Do I just get my racial, right?
I think
Common and infernal.
Yeah, infernal. I wasn't sure if you guys had any other language bonuses. Personality traits.
Oh, hold on. I'll be right back. You go ahead with
Yeah,
Gray.
this is the whole ideals, bonds, and flaws stuff. Yeah, I could pause,
That's a thing nobody does, and when they do, they don't do it right.
or
Or
we
they
can have a
just do it silly.
conversation about it.
My character's flaw is that he drinks too much. They end up
It's-
not drinking all that much at all.
I also didn't realize. I thought it was separate from your background, but the book seems to tie it to the background. I don't know, for some reason I thought it was a separate thing.
No, it's like they give you suggested ones, essentially.
It's all This is all suggested. We I think Sav had mentioned earlier that he kind of really wants to try it out because it's in the book. But for the most part, it's suggested. I would suggest to somebody who's playing the game, if you are very unfamiliar with the concept of trying to embody and be a character, yeah, go with this stuff as a good base. But like you should, try to see if you can come up with your own. Like use this as an inspiration.
Yeah, you should be use them as a guideline to make your character
Yeah,
have a personality of some sort.
yeah.
Not everybody needs that assistance, but I get why it exists, especially for newer characters.
Yeah.
Did you want to go through that the backgrounds for the ideals and bonds and flaws and all that stuff?
Yeah, the personality traits, ideals, bonds, flaws.
Yeah, there is. So in backgrounds, that's how it has the suggested personality traits, at least in the book. One of the backgrounds could be acolyte, which is, I believe, serves a temple. You're part of some sort of religious organization. You could be a charlatan, which is
I can tell you right now, what I'm looking for is something that stands out to me. I'm a bruiser. I'm a like me, and here's my mindset for whatever's going to happen is that me and the tiefling walk into a situation. In my mind, you're a bard. You're the talker. So we walk into a situation, and then I just stand there, look intimidating, and then you give me a look, and then I step forward with my great sword, and I'm like, "Listen here, you fuck.
There's a
I'll
couple.
cut you down."
There's a couple options. Do you want to go generic with yours as well? Because there's a couple generic options. There's entertainer.
If that's what we're doing, just
why not?
go down the list of what they
Just
are.
titles.
It's acolyte, charlatan, criminal, entertainer, folk hero, guild artisan, hermit, noble, outlander, sailor, soldier, and urchin.
So I can tell you for mine, a couple of them stood out to me, but I need to know more. Would a criminal be a runner?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
All as long as you don't crime against
My
the
organization. Yeah.
That's what, then you'll probably just be killed.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, you could be a former criminal. They don't. That doesn't matter.
Okay, and then fuck, what were the others? Soldier.
I was gonna say soldier is the one that stood out in terms
Or
soldier
noble.
or folk hero were like.
No. Don't make sense for this.
Oh, sage is another option.
That don't make sense for this.
Sailor too, and urchin.
The moment you said sailor, like in my head, I wanted to make the joke of just being like, oh, we're both sailors. Just ruin your campaign for no reason.
Soldier gets skill proficiencies.
I mean, well, do you want the online DM experience?
Why?
I'm a sailor.
Oh, you're gonna be
Actually, you know what? I'm a nobleman.
Oh. I was like, what? What's happening?
I'm bringing my character in.
Oh.
Okay. I'll go criminal. Knowing nothing about it, I'm
Okay.
going criminal.
You'll go criminal.
I feel like that lines up with the bruiser.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Like, in my mind, I'm just willing to cut down people if that is what the job calls for. I don't like just cut down anybody, but like if that's what the job calls for.
He's done some stuff.
I've done
and he's
some-
willing to do some more stuff.
I've done some stuff.
Skill proficiency is deception and stealth. One of those you're gonna be pretty good at, I think. 'Cause, maybe.
Nope.
Or well, your racial bonus gives you a little bit more charisma.
A little bit more. It brings it to a +3. And then my stealth is going to be also a +3.
You gain a tool proficiency.
I didn't even write down the last one. We didn't go over artisan tools, and I don't really care to
Yeah.
because I'm not going to be smithing in the middle of a fucking mini campaign.
You get one type of gaming set and thieves tools. I think a gaming
I will write down thieves tools.
I think gaming set could be like a set of playing cards. You also will have
I have dice.
a crowbar.
No, I don't.
Yeah, I was about to say. I don't know.
I had it at level 1 and I left it behind.
Yeah, set of dark common clothes, including a hood and a pouch containing 15 gold.
Oh yeah, that comes from. Do you want me to write that or your story? Money from your story?
We could plus 15 gold on your person if you want.
Okay.
Give me a D8 roll.
Hold on.
God, there's a couple in here that fit so well to what the background you're trying to match. This is your.
Do you want to reduce the roll?
No. Throw a D8. This is your specialty, your criminal specialty. 2. Burglar.
I feel like that doesn't fit the bruiser. What are the options? Oh, it has to be a D8. It's a random roll. Okay.
It's a random roll. Well, you fudged your height already, didn't you?
Yeah.
you fudged your height.
I made myself 5'10".
Blackmailer, enforcer,
Enforcer. That's
hired killer, and those are the three
enforcer.
Those are the three that fit.
Enforcer. Enforcer just makes so much sense.
You rolled a 3. It's fine. You have a criminal contact. I'll give you that. I'll give you some opportunities if you feel like you want to.
Okay.
And then we have suggested characteristics. You want to roll that. Personality trait.
For ideals, bonds, and flaws?
This is your personality trait. There's an ideal and then bonds. Those are all separate roles.
Oh shit! I wrote background in the wrong place. Where do you write background? Oh, okay. Hold on. Yeah, enforcer is like so perfect in my mind. I mean, do what you want. It's your fucking story. But in my mind, Tiefling Bard was sent on the job, and I was sent with the Tiefling Bard, knowing nothing about your story.
Sure.
That's what's happening in my mind. Yeah. Am I rolling for these?
Yeah, D8. Again, this what we use as a guide
3.
post. The first thing I do in a new place is note the locations of everything valuable or where such things could be hidden. It is a personality trait of yours.
Okay.
And then give me a D6 roll.
1.
Your ideal is honor.
No.
I don't steal from others in the trade.
Oh, okay. In my
Yeah.
Okay.
And this is lawful. So again, evil could also be lawful. Just for clarity.
Okay. I will write lawful evil.
Bond.
Roll.
Is a D6.
3.
3 is something important was taken from me and I aim to steal it back. And then give me another D6.
2.
When faced with a choice between money and my friends, I usually choose the money.
You hear that?
There's also a variant criminal, which is a spy, but that doesn't fit what you've been talking about. Do you remember any of the backgrounds, Gray? That was it for your background. You want to be a criminal too?
A lot of people ask me stupid fucking questions. Like if I fudge dice, if I misinterpret the rules. If you believe that, I guess I do. You know why? Because I'm a criminal. I already chose criminal. I had a character in mind already as soon as I started making it. So I'm like, I'm choosing criminal.
Double criminal background.
Yeah.
Love it. Do you want to let's have a fudge dice again? Do you want to
just read them down and let me hear what they are?
Yeah. Blackmailer, burglar, enforcer, fence, highway robber, hired killer, pickpocket, smuggler. And there's a variant spy.
Blackmailer and enforcer is a funny combo.
Blackmailer it is.
You got it. You'll have the same criminal contact, not the same, but criminal contacts. And then it's D8 and then 3 separate D6.
What is this guild that we work for?
They just need bodies. They don't do any background checks.
They don't need to.
What were the D8s and all that? What was that?
So it's the D8 is your personality trait, and then the D6s are going to determine your ideal, your bond, and your flaw. So it's 1 D8 and then 3 D6s.
4 on a D8.
I would rather make a new friend than a new enemy.
All right.
Can you do me a favor and flip back to tell me the AC? Actually, I could just Google this while you're working with him.
I was gonna go through
chainmail.
I was gonna go through the sheet as soon as we're done with this.
5 on a D6. 5 on a D6.
5 on a D6. Your ideal is people. I'm loyal to my friends, not to any ideals, and everyone else can take a trip down the sticks for all I care. You're neutral.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Already fits with what I put down, so that's
Nice.
good.
Chainmail's quite high.
Bond.
Bond 6.
Someone I love died because of a mistake I made that will never happen again. And then the last D6 is for your flaw. Oh, God. There's one in here that I wish you got. In the flaw, it'd be so funny.
Not digging the Bond, but 2.
This same as Sobs. When faced with the choice between money and my friends, I usually choose the money.
I was almost going to say re-roll, and then I realized what it was, and like actually.
We make the best characters, don't we? With the best dualities here.
The one I wanted you to get is an innocent person is in prison for a crime that committed. I'm okay with that.
I would need clarity. Was it chain shirt or chain mail as my starting equipment option?
1 second.
Because if it's chain mail, I think I'm for sure changing to chain mail. And if it's chain shirt, then
Chain mail.
Chain mail? Okay. Then I'm for sure changing to chain mail. If it was going to be chain shirt, then I was going to probably drop the great sword and stick with the long sword.
Okay. You have disadvantage on stealth, I believe.
I do.
Okay.
But the AC bonus, that brings me up from a 12 to a 17. That's very worth it for being a bruiser.
Okay, we already determined your character's abilities. There's a little bit of, we chose your equipment. Armor class is, did you need help with that? You figured that out.
No, it's armor plus dex.
Okay. It's armor plus,
You have your
is
armor
there a
class?
base?
Okay. What's that?
Oh, the base is your armor.
Well, the base is your dex, and then the armor. Oh, sorry. Yes.
Yeah, sorry.
Dex mod.
Okay. And then it is choose equipment, which is, we got the weapons. Come together, which is the player party. And then beyond first level and tiers of play. And that is the book's rough overview about creating characters.
I am missing.
Yeah, let's go over the
initiative.
sheets to see what.
I'm missing initiative.
Initiative should be your dex bonus.
Just dex bonus.
Yes.
Okay. I'm missing my player's name. Do I roll for that or?
There's actually suggested names in the book.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
I'll choose a suggested name. Why not? Fuck it. We're going so raw here. Why not?
Okay. And
Except for height, because that's fucking bullshit.
I was about to say, we've already.
So, like, again, like, before I get called out in the fucking comments with our one viewer, like, if I was playing like a dwarf or something, I don't have a problem playing short characters by any means at all. It just totally breaks the fantasy for me.
It doesn't fit your view of what the elves are supposed to be.
Yeah, or even half elves. For me, that felt so like fantasy breaking of the fact that I was going to be a short king. So I absolutely wanted that little bit retconned. And for the record, I went to like the minimum thing in my head that I think half elves or elves should be, which is 5'10", which again is shorter than I am in real life. This isn't about me living out the fantasy of being tall. It just doesn't make sense for the fantasy for me. So it absolutely breaks it in my mind. Sorry, go ahead.
That's fine. Half elves, their names lean in a direction of either elven or human. Considering how much you're pushing more towards your elf heritage,
Mm-hmm.
you want the name to lean
I was
elf?
gonna with my voice as well. So yeah. Yes, elven.
Okay. Elf names. Male adult names are Adrian, Alar, Aramil, Araness, Ost, Barrow, Barin, Carrick, Anilius, Erdun or Erdane, Aravan, Galanden, Hadari, Ian.
Carrick?
Yeah, Carrick.
And then what was the short one? Ost? How do you spell that?
Ost, A-U-S-T.
How do you spell Carrick?
C-A-R-R-I-C.
C-A-R-R-I-C. And
There
I'm
might be another
changing
way.
all of the C's to K's because C is a stupid letter.
Hemo, Immorel, Evelius.
Actually, the letter C just breaks the fantasy for me.
Mindardus, Pallius, Perrin, Quirion, Radaron, Roland, Sevelus, Theomore, Theraville, Varus.
Okay. Yeah, I want Carrick.
Okay.
Do you want to go suggest a name as well?
No,
No,
I'm good there.
Okay.
Is there even suggested names? Oh yeah, there is.
I like having suggested names in books.
Agamemnos, Amnon, Baracus,
Yeah, very like
Demacos,
demonic names.
Echamon.
Love it. All right. Anything else missing from the character sheet? Oh, I have a question. I don't know.
Let's go through the sheet to make
I don't know
sure.
if this is rules as written, but in D&D, do you start with inspiration?
No.
You get that from
Inspiration
doing cool
is
stuff.
based off of play.
Okay. Because I know, like Pathfinder, I believe you start every session with it.
Ew.
I can double check.
I'm pretty sure you get a hero point every session.
Ew.
Yeah, I know. Pretty crazy. And then 2024, I'm pretty sure you also get inspiration every session. And then there are bardic abilities where you could just trade inspiration with people and just have unlimited inspiration.
Ew.
Yeah, it's very, very weird.
The idea of inspiration in this game is like, are you playing to your character's, personality traits, flaws,
Yeah.
bonds, ideals, and stuff? And so the DM is supposed to be like, oh, hey, yeah, you're playing your character the way your character is written as you're supposed to be playing him. So here's inspiration for you.
Yeah.
Typically, DMs award it when you play out your personality traits, give in to the drawbacks presented by a flaw or bond, or otherwise portray your character in a compelling way. Your DM will tell you how you earn inspiration in the game. You either have inspiration or you don't. You can't stockpile multiple.
For my character flaw, when you gave me the choice between money or friend, and then choosing that flaw in general being to choose money, does that count as playing into my character? Can I get a rule of cool inspiration, please?
No.
I know we haven't started playing yet, but okay. Weapons. I need my greatsword stats. I need my hand axe stats, and I need my longsword stats, please.
1 second. Greatsword, I believe, is 2d6.
Mm-hmm.
What was the other ones?
2d6 slash. Slashing
Yes.
damage?
Yes.
Hand axe.
1d6 slashing, I believe.
Really? I would have thought it would be a d4. And it doesn't say range on here, which is crazy.
What for? Which one?
The weapons, the base character sheet. So I'll just have to write that somewhere.
Oh, okay. Because it's 2060.
2060.
Yeah.
Okay. And then longsword is 1d8, 1d10.
Yeah, I believe so. Hand axe 1d6 slashing. It's light. Thrown property 2060. Great sword 2d6 slashing. Heavy 2-handed
Sorry, what was the dice for the hand axe?
1d6.
Okay.
And then long sword is 1d8 slashing, 1d10 versatile.
Yeah.
You got all your stuff?
Yes.
Let's see.
Yeah, that second character sheet, second page of the character sheet is completely barren on mine.
I mean, that's
assuming yours as well. I think that's just stuff you do as homework, though.
Yeah.
I don't know the world large enough or well enough to give a full backstory and whatnot. So I think I'm just going to mostly leave that blank.
Yeah, I mean, it just this is the job you have is a job that most people who have abilities, you kind of have to have an ability to do the job well.
Yeah.
Your tasks can range. It ranges on the person you're assigned to. You are assigned people that give you tasks to do, and like I said earlier, you are the range of tasks could be anything really. So there is like you could be fetching things, you could be recovering things, you could be asked to go do something a little bit more dangerous. It is way less often that'll be the job assigned to you, but for the most part, you're just you're helping somebody else who's doing a much bigger thing.
You're just lower level guildsman.
Yeah. And then something that would be important for you guys to look at. Maybe I was going to ask this on the session, but think of and have an idea of a fractal pattern that you like.
What does that mean?
Whatever you want it to mean, but
What's a fractal pattern?
do you know what a fractal pattern is?
Mhm.
Okay. Well, look up fractal patterns. Think of, you know how certain flowers kind of the shape kind of permutates on itself. Like it is like the same shape, but it becomes smaller.
Yeah.
That's a fractal pattern. It is a pattern that kind of repeats itself infinitely. So it's a never ending design. Just think of a fractal, or find a fractal pattern you like, and just have that in your head for when we start.
That's our homework.
And that'll be one thing that will clear up as soon as we start the session. I'll give you guys a little bit more detail about the world you're in and what you're doing. Cool.
Okay. So
Sweet.
fractal pattern will be cleared up later. We'll get the story and whatnot of our characters.
Mm-hmm.
Do we know each other?
Yes, you would. At this point, you would have not only worked with the people that you've been assigned to for a little bit,
Sure.
but you would have worked with each other for a little bit.
Can you give me the example of just like 3 jobs that we've done together?
As
As in 3 different jobs that we might have done together, or would that be a spoiler?
not necessarily. I'll do simple ones I've already said. It would be essentially run across town, go talk to somebody about this thing that they need for an experiment that this person is working on. You go and do that. Some of it could be, I need you to go outside of town in this direction. There's a thing I need you to find 2 pounds of it, come back with it. I'm going to need it for this thing I'm working on.
Okay.
Your enforcer presence hasn't really been used yet as far as anything you've done. So there's nothing, you've never had to like bully somebody to get something.
Okay.
You've never had to like force somebody to get something.
What about
out
like
of them.
fighting creatures in the wild or anything along those lines?
Any of the outside tasks, there is a chance that you have to deal with something.
Have to do something.
Yeah.
Okay. I imagine a degree of like just talking character relationship. I imagine there's a degree of like when having to find something, I might aid you, but otherwise let you do it. And then more so keep my eye on the horizon and guard you. When it comes to collecting things, probably similar. Walking through the streets, you have your eyes on the prize, I have the eyes on the crowd. So sort of deal. I would say more typically, I would be more so talkative with you, whereas in social situations, still participating, but probably shorter, as in like only saying a few things here and there, or asking quick questions rather than leading a conversation with someone. You know what I mean? Just very business.
Yeah, you're the strong silent enforcer type. I'm the
when it's business. When it's not business, not so much. Like in my mind,
we show up to a deal. I'm the guy who's like, "Hey, what's up?" And you're the guy who's there with his arms crossed and his sword right there at the ready. Like,
unless there's something that I think
glaring.
of that needs to be asked, Yeah. And then in which case I don't get you to ask. I'll just ask
I get it.
Yeah,
I already get it.
I'll give a little bit more clue in the world setting. Outside of your city is essentially a wasteland.
Okay.
And the world is kind of, I'm ripping a little bit off of Monster Garden. Monster Garden. The fractal pattern you need is a device that you'll have to put on in order for anything that's magically inclined to work on yourself.
Okay.
Because magic is essentially siphoned from the world. You need a way to actually funnel it into your bodies. And part of that is a device that you'll wear that is a fractal pattern.
Understood. Yeah.
Cool.
Cool.
Sweet.
Talkative with you, not very talkative
Trent,
with others.
Sharon.
To a degree, but I would participate. Like,
Yeah.
I still will participate, just more so like letting you lead.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, but like if I have ideas or thoughts or whatnot, I would share them. Like my character's not afraid to talk and not an idiot.
In that light, if you can add into your flaw, like willingness to just bail on a job.
No. Session 1. All right, you guys open up. The guild has given you a task. You have to go in this direction. Blah, blah, blah. As you go through this meeting, eventually finding yourselves outside of the guild house, what are you guys doing? Well, I think we should probably go home. I'm not sure what we need to do here.
I don't know where to go from here. The trail's cold. It's been 6 days.
It's been 6 days.
Bail?
Bail?
No, not that level of Trent.
Diet Trent.
Diet Trent.
But yeah.
Okay.
Should be it. Everybody good?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Cool.
Think so. Think character sheets look good.
Sweet.
Third sheet, spell sheet, nothing on it. Yeah, looks good.
And then you can.
Yeah, I'm going to take a look at the spells and I'll send them to myself on Discord.
Yeah.
Sure.
Sweet.
Cool.
All right.
All right.
Thank you guys for listening.
Thank you for listening to System Exploration as we talked about 5e and what 5e is, and then the story for which we are going to play in a mini campaign as DM'd by Nyx as we move forward with our characters, even though Gray has not shared his character's name yet. But the two criminals, one bruiser, one mage, as we go on this next adventure. Next session would be session 1.
Mm-hmm.
We will see you there. Links in the description, hit bells and whatever YouTube stuff, likes and subscribes, and we will see you next time.
Bye.
Bye-bye.